Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sunday Crew as we pick up where we left off last time. Now, of course, we're going to get into a prologue here in a minute, and I don't remember who gave it last time, but it probably wasn't GM Scott. But GM Scott is not really a qualifier to do the prologue because GM Scott was not here.
Amos, you
I
have
think
some
I was
stuff,
there.
don't
I just didn't take any damage.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh, you were there?
We were
Yeah.
all there.
I
Oh.
you?
cast.
Every one of us is there.
I cast +1 size on Boothby before he
Well,
cast his spell.
then never mind. I forgot about that. Okay, great. Well, in that
But
case,
I don't have any conditions. I'm still fresh.
yeah. All right, I got it. In that case, anybody could give the prologue. I don't remember who gave it last time, but you gave
I'm
it last
doing
time. Oh, you're
No, I'm
giving. Oh,
doing
you're
it.
doing it. Okay. I was so
He needs the most help.
really.
No, any volunteers?
Eyes bleeding.
Yeah. All right. Well, then why don't you go ahead and get us started off, Dennis? And then once the prologue is complete, we will do our updating of beliefs, instincts, and goals. You guys can also then, of course, strategize what is it you want to do this session, and we can figure out where we're going with this. All right, Dennis, take it away.
Well, we returned to the ruins of Tal Amaroth in search of Euphonius, the Harp of the Grave, so that we could prove our worth to the spectral undead elf and earn the dagger which is needed to kill the sleeping dragon sorcerer.
You should get the bonus just for that. You already know more about this campaign than everyone else.
I was thinking you should say the name.
I'm not sure about the dragon sorcerer's name. I think it was mentioned, but I couldn't spell it.
It
in
was
a way
mentioned. It was mentioned, but yes, that's fine.
We dithered as to what our course of action would be, and I convinced the party to head down into the ancient tomb filled with sarcophagi to face the undead guardians that were there. We descended the well and found that the undead had already been dispatched, apparently by an elven ranger, better than ours, who somehow easy mode Saturday cheated their way into winning this encounter.
I was there. I can confirm it went just like that.
I figured as much. We examined some runes in that room and determined that the undead guardians were meant to prevent an ancient evil from being unbound. The bands, the golden bands that the undead were wearing, were keys to sealing this demonic entity, and are needed to aid in the performing of a ritual to reseal the evil.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sacrifices can be made if anyone is still willing to do that. Again, I cannot do the sacrifice myself. I cannot be sacrificed as I have to do the ritual. We then returned to our camp to refresh. Karanlas got bored and started poking around the ruins for no apparent reason and discovered a relic crown, the Crown of the Lords of Law, which was passed off to Amos as it gives him another relic with which to cast magic. That a anti-demon, kind of turn demon kind of spell.
How convenient.
Yes. Well, we might be facing demons at some point. We turned to Talar Amaroth into the twisting hallways and found a secret door that led into a golem crafting room, which had a stone golem activate within it. Nearly pummeled Karanlas to death. He nimbly escaped. And then we volunteered Sadok to go in, the halfling rogue, to burglarize the room after magically determining that there was some kind of magic, a glow in a hidden compartment in the room. Sadok was able to sneak past the golem, retrieve several stacks of golden coins, and a as yet unidentified glowing powder. We then continued our explorations and came to a door of much confusion, marked with the carved upon the door voices and song. We spent a unfortunate amount of time trying to determine if this was a trap or not. It was not. We opened the door without any event and found a large chamber filled with this big obsidian orb and slab and pillars, and 2 hallways leading off of it. Music filling the air. Kronlos, in a quite clever move, began singing an ancient elven song of the dead, and the music accompanied him, specifically down one particular hallway, which we traversed. And at the end was the glowing harp of the dead, hovering in midair, playing this music. Kronlos continued his song, going down the hallway, a hallway that we suspiciously did not make any note of the number of corpses lying in it. It was all fine, no problems there. Kronlos retrieves the harp, and the various corpses in the room animate into a horde of skeletal guardians.
Actually, I think they were zombies.
Were they zombies? Okay, zombies.
Grr, arg.
So Kronlos has the harp at the end of the hallway. Between him and us are 8 zombies. Yep, zombies. And Amos goes supernova.
Accurate.
And calls upon the thousand voices of the lords of life and death, targeting, is it 6 zombies?
Something like that. Almost all of them.
Yeah. I targeted 4. Whopping roll, 8 successes needed, 8 successes made. Obliterate 4 of the zombies and reduce the other 2 to hand wavium.
Correct.
The power of the spell reduced the 8 zombies into piles of salt, which we then collected. And after the amazing roll of 8 successes on my casting roll, I failed with 0 successes on 4 difficulty for conditions.
Correct.
And immediately got...
hungry, thirsty, angry, afraid, and exhausted.
Right.
And the only reason hungry and thirsty isn't there is because you drank something immediately or something.
Right. Sadak handed me a sandwich after I had finished exploding. And that was enough Erder to put me towards the second stage, which is the bleeding of the eyes and ears, continually shaking, and currently exhausted, afraid, and angry.
And so your burden is... Your Erder is... and your burden is what?
Good question.
Your Erder is what? 1? 2?
Right. My
Erder's your
burden
limit.
is 4.
Got it. Okay.
My Erder is 1.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. So you're up for 4 burden. So yeah. So Amos is at 4 burden and has 3 conditions. So pretty tough. And Tane, your memory palace is empty.
That's correct. I
used a scroll.
I cast straight out of the
book.
book.
You cast straight out of the book. Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
He increased my might by 1 so I could target the 4th skeleton.
Got it. Also, just quick scan. So obviously, Erber the dwarf is not here today, so he'll kind of fade into the background and wavium.
Oh, and I think Pyoria was the one that unlocked the dragon magic.
Pyoria is the name of the sorcerer. Very good job, Genius. So Boothby, in recovery order, you can recover a condition. So that would be the angry condition. So you can go ahead and knock that one off.
I thought you were going to tell him because he said skeletons instead of zombies that his account was not
Your
accurate.
prologue does not meet my criteria.
And therefore, you are now hungry and thirsty.
Right. By the way, I actually haven't updated it yet, but just as a note for people at home, Amos. Oh, Amos, you are still level 1.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I did not accept the
got it.
hand wavium cheating roll that the others did.
Got it. Okay, got it. Good to know.
Or I am a man of honor.
Trying to learn how to play Torchbearer here. Leveling up is part of learning.
So we've got a party status of Karanelos is at 1 check. Has 1 check. Karanelos is the only person in the party with a check, so you do have 1 check. Karanelos is currently sitting on 2 fate and 3 persona points, but he is angry. Sadok has a whopping 6 fate, 3 persona points, no conditions. Looking very nice. Tane, also sitting with no conditions, has 2 fate, but tapped out of his persona. And then Boothby, while sitting on 5 fate, 3 persona, does have a bunch of burden and 2 nasty conditions. As a reminder, being afraid means that he will not be able to help or use beginner's luck. And being exhausted gives, as long as anyone's in the party exhausted, -1 disposition any conflict and cannot use his instinct for free. Whereas Karanelos, who's angry, cannot use wises or traits for himself beneficially. He's too angry to see straight and help out with his knowledge. And we are currently sitting where we left off, which was in the adventuring phase. We just ended because we kind of went a little late. We're in one of the 2 hallways, or one of the 2 chambers or alcoves off of that strange ritual chamber. This is the hallway where the floating harp, Euphonius, was found and the undead came to life. And
there's an important thing to note also from our prologue. The ritual to seal the demon had to be performed in 5 phases, or it would be loose. And we don't know how many have been used.
Yeah.
Karanelos took the harp, currently possesses the harp, and we ended there at 3 turns of the grind. The conflict basically taking 1 turn, and here we are. So
we know at least we used 2. I wrote down 2 of 5
of the phases.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and remove Erber. Now, Erber had a torch, but Erber decides to head off, so it is currently dark. So I assume somebody else is going to want to light a torch.
I'm going to strike one, but we need to then do some accounting here.
Yeah.
Because there's some problems I'm actually noticing. Do I click it? How do I?
So you click your torch, and then you use the light torch macro.
I'm not. Is it a left click?
Left click. Left click the torch to highlight it.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Then top left.
And then the top
Oh,
left
I see.
corner.
Okay, I'm looking in the wrong place. Okay,
okay.
Light torch.
There you go. All right, cool. And I gave you a torch countdown there, timer.
Did we figure out what this harp does? I can't remember.
So hold on a sec. So what that means that you, as a torch, you guys have 2 bright squares and 2 dim squares. Obviously, Sadok is in one of the bright squares because he has the torch. And then you guys can figure out who's in those squares. Otherwise, I'm also going to move the harp down into Bob's slots. So at the very least, obviously right now we can put people in there. But so remember that in the case of a situation where you guys get into a conflict or something like that. Okay, so
I have a problem. I don't know who's carrying the nice time traveling dust. I don't see it on anyone's inventory, and I don't know if it was just a oversight. We certainly walked away with it, and I just don't know where it is.
So it is currently on your belt pouch. So do you see that you have the 1 belt pouch, Ryan, that has the 3 of 3 over it? You probably can't see that. That's why. All right. Oh no, it says visible to everybody.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, I see undead salt, but I think he's talking
salt.
about the golem blowing arcane dust.
Correct. Here, I'll turn the name.
Oh, that's what I didn't see.
There we go. You see it now?
Oh, so that was okay. So that's mysterious pouch.
Yeah, that's the thing with the mysterious dust that you found inside of it. It is it's essentially a belt pouch filled with 3 units of the pouch of the dust.
Right. So now, I don't have this. So if I have a tinderbox and then the sling where it is, I don't have inventory for the undead salt.
You do. Oh no, you don't. It's pack 1. Correct. No, you could put it in your backpack. You have space for it there.
Right. Well, that's my next thing. I need to ditch this, and then now we have a problem here. I need an open hand in case we get into a conflict.
Oh, right. Well, you could always throw the torch
And-
on the floor. That's never gone bad before.
Or you could drop your small sack.
So I'm gonna drop my water skin.
I could cast light and have open wounds appear on myself.
And now, question: I have this small sack. The small sack, can it carry anything when it's in my bag?
Yeah, it's called bags within bags. It actually becomes net negative. So if your bag has 2 things in it, it takes up 3 slots in your bag.
Right.
In your
Okay,
backpack.
that's what I
yeah.
thought. All right. So now I just need to figure out what to do with this. Can someone drop some salt here? I don't know if we need a million doses.
He's been replaced by doppelgangers.
Yeah, just put the salt into the board so that people at home can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So I just need to offload this sack.
All right. Well, while Ryan is also thinking about inventory accounting, you guys should strategize about your goals for the session and then write your goals. And if your beliefs or instincts need to be updated or want reflecting in the fiction and what's been happening, please go ahead and do that as
So
well.
my goal needs to be updated for sure, guys, because it was about getting the necklace off the skeleton, which is no longer a thing.
Mhm.
And we obviously got the harp, which progresses our goals pretty far along.
I think my
I think-
goal is going to be to reseal the demon of the ancient world away.
Okay.
I think I had a goal way back when.
Right.
And then
you
I
only
changed
changed
it.
it 2 minutes before you accomplished
Yeah.
it.
And so I think I'm going to go back to that old goal of acquiring that dagger.
Right.
Mm.
Now, this is why I say strategize, because it's going to be probably potentially difficult to do demon sealing and dagger acquiring in the same session. Just FYI.
Okay.
So bringing the harp,
Eh.
bringing the harp could be someone's goal, right? To the lady or to the ghost spirit.
That's probably
And
going to
then
be me.
The dagger. That
And
sounds
then we
to
can go
be like
seal the-
focus.
seal the portal.
Well, the seal the portal. That's probably doing that while also returning the thing. Is probably a lot.
So I'm
Yes,
trying to remember.
Boothby, you Amos, you detect a strange feeling,
Uh-oh. Here comes the PvP.
as if.
Considering my condition. that's
Yeah,
not
no.
surprising.
Actually, no. It's almost like because you're in such pain and such racked with such visions, you feel now a great distance, as if the ritual, the energy binding the ritual, has become much weaker, as if the jeweled torques that were so essential to the ritual have been taken hundreds of miles away.
Oh no.
Perhaps sold.
Oh god.
Perhaps literally on the other side of the continent.
What if your goal could be to tell the elven spirit about the ritual failing?
Yeah, guess what? Your chosen people just destroyed your ritual.
Now, Amos, you did say that you could seal it, you thought, without him?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
it would just
harder.
cost our lives.
No. It's just
No.
it's harder. If
It's much
any of you
harder.
sacrifice yourselves, it's easier.
I mean, yeah.
I think Erder might sacrifice himself.
Yeah, we
right?
have one person. That's
Where did he go? Where did he go?
I think he's
Oh, yeah.
prepping himself for the ritual.
How's that, Erber? you guys start talking
himself.
about. You guys start. He just nopes off the screen.
Now that we're all his friend,
Right.
he would want to do this.
The reason I say that is obviously, Amos, if it is your goal, and knowing that goal is not as easy if we can't get these torques, then are you going to be able to do it? And if so, then we should try to align our goals maybe to make sure this happens, or figure out how we're going to go about this.
Did you not see what I have done already? The miracles I have wrought?
I have. It's incredible.
Oh, to remind
And if you could do
Carnal,
those.
I'll sing songs about them.
you would ask if you remember what your harp does. It lets you understand the at least understand the undead.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
understand
so-
what they were saying.
So I will say this. The main thing, well, among its many powers, the main thing that the harp does is it allows you to communicate with the undead. But it also increases your precedence by 3
Oh.
with respect to dealing with the undead.
Mm.
Okay. That's huge.
So
I feel
now
like
I don't.
also I should
So
put
I don't
this
know if
thing
you guys
away.
remember what precedence is and how that works. But
Yeah.
It's
As
like it's
adventurers.
social might.
it is
right?
social
Yeah.
might. Yes,
As
correct.
adventurers, we're garbage.
As
But with
right,
that-
as adventurers, you have precedence 0. But Bob, while wielding the harp, has precedence 3 when dealing with undead, which, amongst other things, will allow you to engage in certain types of conflicts that you weren't able to engage in before, such as a convince conflict with a spirit.
Yeah.
So now you actually possess an item which mechanically allows you to convince that spirit to give you the dagger.
Well, and we have the harp, which is
No, well, that's
something
what I'm
he
saying.
asked-
That's
Yeah, he asked for that anyway.
true. But I'm saying that,
Yeah.
now you can actually.
in general.
Yeah.
So, mechanics wise, if we were to just go straight to, assuming there isn't a change in the dungeon, we can, go straight to,
Well, from right here, no, because
Oh,
you're not on
yeah.
the map.
that's right, we're not on the map yet. We'd have to move a couple of spaces, which means a couple of dungeoneering checks.
Potentially some checks, and that also will mean
Unless
some
we
grind.
want to camp here
Unless you want to camp here.
and I can update the map, then we can teleport even back to town if we wanted to.
That is
But we can't do that. Well, no, we've been in the dungeon, so the GS won't hurt us.
right. You could return to town because the town is on your map. Is
And
that
we
right,
could get rid of
Scott?
some of this gold. Yes, town is on my map. I updated it last time.
Now the thing about going back to town
Is the phases.
You're right,
is the what?
the
The-
phase.
The phase.
But
Yeah,
if
yes,
yeah, and if we don't camp now, it's going to take us 2 phases just to get out of here.
right. And was there a lot that we needed in town? Like we were running on things that we couldn't buy anything other than just the starting kind of gear. So I mean, what do we want to spend this money on?
Well, if I go back to town, I could be level 2. But
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not like
kinda
it,
with-
not like it doubles my hit points or anything.
Right. But
I just think we don't need to. I'm kind of with Amos on that. I don't know if we need to. It's just weighing us down. The gold.
Yeah,
well, but that's the thing is, you could theoretically get rid of it and convert it into something that's maybe more useful. But yes, it is a remote village, so it is not exactly the most thrilling thing. Now, this doesn't help you because you can't teleport there automatically. But you could make you could try to get to, say, the busy Crosswords town, which is where Sadak is from. And that's going to obviously have more of a market available to you. You might be able to get better weapons, chainmail, maybe even plate mail, potentially
Also-
spells and things of that nature.
If we spend phases outside of this area, we take penalties from the Gaius.
Correct. Every phase that you spend, if the next phase is a town phase, without returning to this dungeon, that's when the Gaius affects you.
and I'm just looking at the map from here, from the Euphonius room. Would getting back to that hexagon chamber be a dungeoneering check?
From
Or is this
here,
all considered the
no.
same room?
No, but
Okay.
it's not fast travel. You
But
understand?
then, right. But then back to the Hall of Statues would be a check. And then back to the empty hallways would be a check. And from there, we're on the map.
Correct.
So we're talking at least minimum 2 checks.
Right.
If we
Um,
camp, though, this is all on the map. Assuming I succeed.
I need to set a goal.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was going to rewind us back to. Because
Oh, yeah.
if our
Well,
goal
I think that's
is
what we're discussing
to-
is
if our goal is to have Amos attempt to steal this ritual or perform this ritual, are we gonna be able to do everything in one session? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, return the harp. Maybe we could. I mean, I definitely think I'd like that to be my goal. I just don't know if that should be my goal this session.
Yeah.
But returning the harp seems like a really good one.
Well, to be
for my character.
completely clear, I mean, I know it was a month ago. The spirit doesn't care about returning the harp. What the hell is the spirit going to do with the harp?
Oh, I just need to procure it.
Well, he basically said you need the harp in order to be able to prove to me that you're worthy.
yeah.
That was my way of saying you guys don't have enough precedence to convince him to give you the harp or to give you the dagger, because you cannot. You guys did engage in a convince conflict with him, but it's like engaging in a kill conflict with a dragon. You can, but even if you win, you lose because you can't
Are we
do it.
already worthy then, or do I have
No.
to actually?
You still have to
I have
convince.
to like strum the.
No,
harp
you have
thing?
to. You have to convince him.
Yeah, we go back. We
Okay.
say we've got the harp.
Well, then I want that to be my goal: is to convince the guy.
Yeah.
Like that's actual the goal.
Well, and here's the thing though, getting this dagger doesn't help with the ritual.
No.
Right? The dagger is useful against
The dragon.
the sorcerer.
Correct. The sorcerer dragon.
Sorcerer. So it's good to get that, but do we want that to take our time when we should be working on trying to get this ritual done? Like,
Well,
I-
yeah, the only thing I can think of is the ritual is done by Elven. Was basically the Elven people were bound to it.
yeah.
This ghost
Well, we
spirit
have
is
one.
an Elven person.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they know, because we at this point we know we now have the sinking suspicion that there are getting the torques is not an option.
Oh, I mean
Yeah.
it is, but
Yeah. Not within the time allotted.
it's a much more complicated proposition now.
DM Scott, what's that guy's name that we're going to convince? Yeah,
Oh, the
did you write-
spirit? I don't
yeah.
remember if he gave his name. Maybe he didn't. If he did, I didn't write it down.
I'll just write spirit.
I'll
I'm
look
going to
at
make that my
notes.
goal, even though it might not happen this session. I would hope it could, but if it can't, it can't.
Well, he might be able to give us, if we go back, you play the harp for him, we convince him, we get the dagger, he might give us insight as to how to take care of this without the torques and maybe without sacrificing
And that seems like a
all of us.
fast thing we have to get done because this is
Yeah.
happening in 3 or
Three.
less phases.
3, yes, exactly. So if we camp,
Aren't
that's one
clocks
phase.
fun?
Yeah.
Well, they make things interesting. That's for
Well,
sure.
it actually, yeah.
I didn't write his
it's
name down, but I did
fantastic.
write this name down. What's Zargax? Is that the actual dragon's name?
That sounds
Or
like
is
the
that the
dragon.
demon?
Zargax might be the name of the demon.
I wrote Elf War against Zargax the dragon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. That's the dragon that the dragon bone dagger is made from. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. So there's another dragon.
Yeah, that dragon's dead.
Gotcha.
So if we camp, that's one phase.
Yes.
If we then go back into the adventuring phase, and hopefully I pass my check in the camp or to update the map in the camp, then we could go to the spirit and do a couple checks there, have a little conflict with him, try and convince him. We're still in the adventuring phase, right?
Correct.
So then we could try, we're at 4 at
Yep.
that point. And then we would go we would have no time to go back to town. We would have to go right then to go try and,
Well, no,
Close
you
the
you,
po-
you would
close
have
the
one
portal.
more phase because you get 5 phases basically. Like it would be
okay,
like
5 and then it happens.
and then
It's
it
not on
happens.
5.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not going
it's
there.
one.
Ritually
It's
formed
1,
anywhere?
2, 3, go.
And then
Not-
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's right.
Go on 3.
Go on 3 or 1, 2, 3, go.
Can that ritual be performed anywhere?
No, but
I got the
it
impression it has to be done in that room.
has to be done in that room. Yeah.
Which means we need to, yeah.
Right, because what you basically discovered is that wasn't
Find
actually an
that room.
ancient tomb. It was actually an ancient ritual chamber.
Then I vote for camping so we can update this map.
And perhaps get Dennis some health back.
Right,
I also cannot stress enough.
That's if we have no checks.
We have to get goals.
Yeah.
No. Bob
Yeah.
has
Oh,
one
yeah.
check.
Yeah, and we don't have goals.
You guys need goals and instincts.
Well, I think we had to figure out what we were going to
all
do.
right.
before
That's
we did
fair. No,
goals.
that's fair enough.
My
That's
goal
fair.
is set. If ever my goal, my belief is still, I will always have my friends back. I've convinced the spirit that we are worthy of the dagger is the goal, and my instinct is always look ahead when exploring the area. That has not changed. The only thing I changed this week was my goal.
Okay.
All right.
So
So,
dagger, I think, seems like that's where a lot of the energy is, and then hopefully using the rest of the time to work on this seal.
This energy might change
Yeah.
quick if we can't.
so I think I'm going to go back to my original goal of get the dagger, get that dragon boat dagger.
Okay.
You're so indecisive.
Yeah, I know. Wishy-washy.
All right. Well, that
My goal
leaves.
20 minutes ago.
I am Tane the Waffler.
That's right. So that leaves you, Sadok Saddlebelly.
I would like to find out what this mysterious powder is.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah, that's fine. That's a
Yeah,
totally
cool.
acceptable goal. Yep.
Not enough salt.
All right. You guys
Sounds
wanna
like
camp here,
what?
then?
Sounds like something you would do in camp. That's a
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is that we only have a check.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we need
Yeah.
more checks to do anything. I mean,
Well, the
Yeah,
problem is I don't think.
technically we could go now, but doing a check, getting a check would be great. So we need to.
the
come
only
up
the
with
only
some kind of a
downside.
B- a
The only
BS
downside
roll.
is if you do make a check. Well, it doesn't have to necessarily be a BS roll.
True.
If you make some sort of check, because I mean, every test that you make is valuable, right?
Yeah.
But the only downside is if you do make a test, it will obviously grind you, and everyone will become hungry and thirsty. But that might not be the end of the
Oh
world.
yeah, we're at 3 already.
Sadak, is your instinct still to cook for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
correct. That's not changing.
So that
And then
actually
is,
that actually could work to your advantage in some ways.
Yeah. So we will recover. We will at least get an attempt to recover that as a group
Yes.
as soon as we camp. So we can afford to get it and then make quote unquote what we get one check and then like 3 more checks before we need to do it again. So does the grind trigger as soon as we make this next check so it fills the clock?
Correct. As soon as that next test is complete,
Yeah.
then the grind occurs.
So then after that we can do 3 more of something.
Correct.
And
Before
then camp.
before the test occurs again. Yes. It's just particularly scary for Dennis
Right.
because if he becomes hungry, oh no, you've cleared your angry, so you got a little bit of room.
yeah, I got a little bit of a breather.
All right. So
Not
we need
much.
to. You want to move around a little bit then? You want to go try to see if we can
Right,
find.
'cause I mean, I don't think we have enough checks to make it even worth camping.
Okay. Then we have to go do something.
All right. Well, then in that case, session begin.
Session begins.
All right. So the piles of undead still stand in collapsed piles of salt around you. The harp of the grave, Euphonius, is in Coronalos' hand. As a reminder, Coronalos and party, the Euphonius is pack 2, wielded 2.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you guys want me to have my bow out, I gotta find a place to put this thing.
Yeah. Well, times are tough.
Raise one of these dumb dead and have them follow you around carrying stuff.
And Sadak,
Good
you
try.
are down the pouch or down the sack, holding a
He
torch,
gave me one of his pouches, I think.
and you
He gave me
are
a
gave you.
back.
yeah, I see it in your inventory. Yeah, and then and your other hand is free. Got it. Okay, Tane, you are still holding a sack full of gold,
Yes, I am.
and your staff is in your offhand. It can be carried. It cannot be wielded. FYI.
Right. Yep.
And then Amos, you still have your spear and shield ready. Is that right?
And a beautiful crown.
And a beautiful crown, and a glowing eye of the Burning Lord amulet, and a
I am-
fist-sized ruby inscribed with the
Decked
name of the
out.
Lord
What
of Fire.
a humble peasant.
The peasantiest peasant
The
that
peasant-
ever peasanted.
The very peasant. There's a bunch of checks yesterday with the Saturday crew, and like the only thing that could help was peasant on all these checks, and they're like, "Why is no one a peasant?"
They don't have the best player of all time.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay. Well, what do you guys want to do? So this
Any
alc-
other passages off this room?
no,
that we walked
this is
into?
basically
There's
like
one to the south, but
Then let's just go back.
or,
This-
I'm sorry.
So I have a way you can free up a hand, Carnalus.
Okay.
You put the sack in your hand and you put the harp in the sack. And then you have one hand open.
right. That doesn't help you wield a bow though. But
I know.
A sling.
I do have a sling.
do you have a
Just throw
sling?
the
I do.
arrows.
Wait, you have a
Why
sling?
just get rid of the
It's just sitting in
sling?
there.
You know? Oh, you do have a sling. Oh,
Yeah.
it's in your backpack. That's not. Great.
Yeah, it's just been sitting in there.
Oh.
I got a dagger. I guess that dagger could go around my neck.
You also
I
have a
could
sack
get-
in your.
Yeah, you
bag.
could
So I
give
could
your
get rid of the garlic.
No, you could give your garlic
rid
to
of the-
Sadak.
Okay, garlic to Sadak.
Yep.
Okay.
Dagger on my neck.
Dagger on your
Yeah.
neck.
Okay.
Get rid of the sling and the sack.
Sling on the ground.
Yep. And
Well, then I can put it. Now I have 2 open spots.
right
have
now
two
you can
open
now you can
spots.
now you can put the harp in the backpack.
All right. Harp in the backpack.
Yep. Note that
Oh.
you've stashed it at the bottom.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably want to put it up top if you want to grab it.
Middle, actually, is probably where you want to put it.
Why? What else am I grabbing back in my backpack?
So the bottom can get ripped out and the top can get ripped out, but the middle is the one that's kind of sheltered. Is my understanding correct? Or am I
Mostly,
wrong?
but remember though that the thing at the top is also the easiest and most accessible.
Ah,
So
Look, let them try. Let
like
them try.
right now, just saying, Bob's tinderbox is at the bottom of his backpack. Just saying.
When we light torches, I'm not usually lighting them in combat.
All right, I'll remember that.
Mine's in my pocket.
Yours is on your belt pouch. Yours
Yeah,
is
I got that on. I got that.
As the torch
Radium
goes out in the middle of
guy.
the combat.
yours is in the best possible, short of being in your hand, Ryan. Yours is in the best possible location. All right.
Let's make our way to the hex chamber. That seems to be the logical.
Correct.
thing.
And
That's the only way out of here.
Yeah, that's literally no check. That's just turning around and going back.
Okay.
Now there's that passageway, the second passageway out of here.
Correct. So let me.
We could
go.
explore there if we wanted to.
I got
Yeah,
a.
let's
Behind us is the statuary
Correct.
with the scary golem. So
Yeah.
I think that is the best place to try and get some checks, maybe it's a little bit of treasure. I don't know. More rooms.
Where the heck did I put that room?
I mean, the other thing that might be worth doing is going back to the sarcophagus, to the ritual room, and seeing if we can determine how many phases are left.
Or if there's some inscription on the wall that talks about how to refresh it even
Huh.
without the torques. You know, like a little fine
Wait-
print somewhere.
When would the checks start happening to get back? How the checks to just get back to where we need to go to be on the map? How that would
We have to have probably a dungeoneering check to get back to the Hall of Statues.
And our
And
dungeon.
another one to
Oh,
get
it must
back
not here.
into the empty hallways.
all right.
I must
Then
have-
we're on the map.
I must have like deleted that or something.
So that's two checks right there. And
Just so you know.
Are we of agreement? We want to fail these, or at least have them stacked against us.
We don't necessarily
need-
want to fail them. We
No, we
want
want
to
to
use
We want to use our traits.
we want
Yeah,
to use our traits
against
against
us.
us and still
Correct.
succeed, which would require us to have a dungeoneering skill of greater than none.
Well, unfortunately, Herber's like, I'm not really paying attention to what you guys are saying. and,
Exactly.
I can't.
He's trying not to be sacrificed.
Yes, exactly.
It's not there. So if you have dungeoneering 0, it's a health check.
I believe
you-
so. Yes, if that's what the
It
beginner's luck
is.
is.
It is.
But also
it's
don't.
H.
But don't forget
Nature. You could
that you could also use your nature, even if
I
it
think that's
doesn't
what
apply.
I've done a couple of times because I have beginners luck twice on that now for dungeoneering.
Oh, this is crazy. I really don't know.
Because I could hastily get us back, or make an effort to hastily get us back, and use my quick wit against me. I remember the
Oh.
way, no problem.
and our trait usage is reset for the session.
Right. Your trait
Correct.
usage is reset. Correct. Oh wow. Okay, it was way the fuck back there. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know. Sorry about that. I guess I deleted that. Okay. Uploading the file. My apologies. There we go. All right. So you guys return
This
to
room is so sweet.
you guys return to the large hexagon room, which has the inscribed pillar and the crackling globe, which is flittering with a very soft, dim light, which once was probably a bright light, but of course, over the millennia, the sort of continual light spell has sort of faded and ended. There is, of course, the passage back out of this way where you came from that leads to the hallway of statues. But there is another sort of alcove chamber again to the right. There's also, of course, the rune-inscribed altar, which is underneath the crackling globe.
That's right. We never did investigate that.
I thought
The-
Amos went up and looked at it, but I don't think anything ever.
I did. I don't think
Came of
anyone
that.
tried to.
Is this
decipher the
all I have
runes.
is it has strange dark sigils.
Yeah, and
Ancient
that-
language predating Elven or ancient Elvish. We know it was dedicated to the dead.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. As I recall, you guys looked at it, but no one made any attempt to translate
yeah, that's
it.
what I said.
or
We just
anything.
kind of.
You guys were kind of looking at your turn clock, like
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to actually
Yeah.
spend.
Basically, whatever we do
I mean,
next,
if
we're
you,
gonna take.
I mean, GM Scott, if you want to make a scholar test,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I think now we can look at this and try and figure out what this says. If you guys don't mind.
Yeah,
know.
as much as we want to get checks, I also don't want to go get too committed into an area that would the twists or anything could really spiral. That's why Jared's been flawed his entire time.
If
Because
there
we'll earn
was,
checks just by trying to get back.
if there wasn't a cool twist, he would never have brought the runes back up again.
I'm just letting you know what's going on here. This
It has been a month.
This six-sided chamber is tiled with alternating obsidian and redstone tiles. The ceiling slowly rises to a point 20 feet above it, from a height of 8 feet at the wall. Directly above sits a pitted globe hanging, drizzling out a wane, fading, crickling light. An altar made of the purest black marble sits directly beneath this, in front of the main entrance. Subtle runes carved across its smooth surface.
That's some good box text.
Yeah. And I remember at least I think I had asked about if there was any religious significance through, theology or anything, and there was nothing.
No.
That I had to check against. So.
Yeah. So.
It just seems to be written in an ancient language.
I will pull out my portable. The ancient device that had the multiple languages on it that helped us figure out Egyptian hieroglyphs. I can't remember
The
name of
Rosetta
it.
Stone.
The Rosetta. Yeah, I'll pull out my little Rosetta book.
Okay.
And either Scholar, Lore Master, whatever.
It is Scholar. Scholar is almost always the thing to go for when it is use it to read, write, research subject, and thing. So it's like literally used for that. There's in fact reading weird inscriptions. That is literally one of the ops.
Almost perfect.
Yeah, almost perfect.
All right. So I will attempt to scholar this.
Yep.
By comparing my notes and seeing if I can find similar symbols, it match up as many as I can, figure out where this originally came from, what the purpose of this room might be.
Okay.
Now, can I help him?
Yeah, you can help with Lore Master, Steward, or Scholar.
What about remembering as one of my natures?
Yes, if you could describe it.
Well, my thought process was this is ancient, but the language that we use now can be derived from portions of it. So I can't necessarily decipher it, but I can tell you that slash line over there has been used in previous iterations as tree and,
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a very good chance, Bob, that this is ancient Elven.
Correct. That was my hope.
And that you actually used to know this language. But it's just been 2,000 years.
I'm trying to remember.
So, yeah, you could totally help with your nature.
Cool. I'll be helping you, Mr.
Are you helping or are you synergizing?
Synergizing, I have to use a
fate point. And then if GM Scott succeeds, your nature will get a pass. And if GM Scott fails, your nature will get a fail.
Damn. Because I think I want you to fail then if I do that. I want my nature to go down, but
well, no, because getting passes and failures is going to make your nature go up.
So I don't want to do it. Nope, don't want to do it.
Okay,
no synergizing.
So just helping.
Yep, just helping.
All right. What kind of ob are we looking for here?
It's ob 2.
Okay, that's not terrible.
That's weird inscriptions. So obviously, Tane is moving over towards the altar. Karanalas is there with him.
Mm-hmm.
Sadak and Amos, what are you doing while this check is going on?
I'm holding the light above them.
Okay, thank you for coming over. I was wondering if we were going to have any light for this.
All right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good idea. Thank you.
Yeah. So as a reminder, this entire chamber is dim light, but obviously in this case, we're going to want to put Karanalas out of the light and Tane in the light so he doesn't get the penalty. You need to be able to see well.
Oh, Chris, I can't spend a persona.
And exhaustingly hanging back.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So,
wiping the blood from my eyes.
Right. I couldn't see anyways. There's too much blood. All right, GM Scott.
So
let me bring
I can't spend a persona because I don't have one.
Correct.
So I can't channel my nature.
Right.
But
you were going to use a trait against yourself.
Well, I also kind of want to succeed, but
well, you can't have it both ways, my friend.
I can't have everything.
And you do have to describe how that
succeed by using it against yourself.
That's true.
Sure. Well, actually, yeah. Why am I rolling 5 dice?
Well, right now you have your
3.
wizard. You have your wizard sight aiding you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why. So if I do no trait, there, back to 4 dice, ob 2. So if I pick my wizard sight and I choose it to go against me.
Right. Well, obviously,
I'm-
first you have to make sure that that makes sense in the fiction.
Right. And what I'm picturing in my
Yep.
mind is as I'm trying to decipher these runes, right? Anyone else would just be looking at a book and looking at the runes and trying to make comparisons. But of course, my arcane energies are not necessarily activating something
Oh,
in the
okay.
plinth, but detecting something. And maybe it was
It's like
a
you're
vision
getting
of the past.
residual static.
Yeah, and it just the images seem to blur and maybe bounce off and just cause me maybe a little bit of mental pain
That's a
while I'm trying to
poltergeist.
do this. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. All right, cool. So you'll earn a check for this, pass or fail. And that's all she wrote.
All right. 3 dice ob 2. This is going to be easy.
That's a 50% chance according to the rules of the game.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Hey!
Look at that.
it looks good.
All right. So, first things first, GM Scott, the turn advances, grind occurs, everybody mark hungry and thirsty.
Yep.
And I get to mark pass or fail.
And you get to mark a pass.
No.
All
It's
right.
about time for 11sies, guys.
Or at least a drink of something.
And
I've been workshopping how to use this undead salt in a stew.
GM Scott, Tane takes a few moments and painstakingly translates the ancient Elven. After a few moments, the torchlight continues to burn on, and you can feel the passage of time. And finally, you've accomplished enough to discover its meaning. It reads, "Those who seek to recall life's past light walk with suffering to the right." That is the alcove where you found the harp. "Those who seek a test from those bereft walks with reticence to the left." So if you seek to recall life's past light, then you walk with sufferance to the right. Those who seek a test from those bereft walks with reticence to the left.
So it looks like we chose
What's that word mean?
correctly.
Hesitation.
Reticence? Yeah.
Okay.
So if we want to test from those bereft of life, we walk with reticence, hesitantly, slowly, maybe carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Go left.
Mm-hmm.
So going to the right, which was a good thing, only had 6 zombies. What would be in store going to the left? That's our question. So
Yeah.
do we want to go that way or do we want to go back?
So the way to the left, or so the way to the right.
I will say the grammar and the noun verb form that they use there suggests that test is another way of sort of there's an implication there of a reward if you pass the test.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Well, that changes it. We're going.
So if the side of
Tane, don't forget to mark hungry thirsty, please.
Oh yeah, thank you.
something, if the way we went was to the right, and it was something about
You've been to the right.
yeah,
Yeah, and
and that was it was the light of life, and it was undead. Is that what you said? Is that what the
Light.
light of life? Would it be like a maybe like a living if bereft something?
Yeah, I was unfortunately trying to write it with a pen and pencil instead of typing it, so I couldn't keep up with him.
I couldn't.
I have the
tried
general
typing and
idea
I
of
couldn't
it.
keep up.
Oh, if I would have thought to type it, I would have been able to keep up, no problem. But
Those who seek to recall life's past light walk with sufferance to the right. Those who seek a test from those bereft walks with reticence to the left.
So go bold to get the harp and go cautiously to get
Something.
A test.
Test,
test.
which would merit a reward if we pass such test.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's very cautiously.
I mean, I'll go look if you guys want me to look.
I think you have to, don't you?
I do.
Go cautiously, my friend. It is dangerous to go alone. Take this. I hand him a rock.
A rock.
I can't
Oh,
even
so-
hold this. I have
something
my bow.
I literally can't hold this.
Something I found on the floor.
All right. So,
Yeah, we want to go to the left.
alrighty. Do I have that map? Probably not.
Sprinkle in some chat GPT.
Oh, no, the maps were made. I just, or the images were made. I just never really, got around to it.
Why would they go here after they got the harp?
It said the last word we used was reticent. What does that mean, Mr. Wizard?
Reticence. Yeah, it's to go carefully or hesitantly. Reluctance almost. There's a little connotation of reluctance with reticence.
And bereft.
Without,
Without.
not having. So those bereft of life are those that are not alive. And bereft is not just not alive, because a rock is not alive.
So
but
undead
bereft means
can go,
it's been taken.
Yeah,
from you.
so undead can go to the right, but if you're dead, don't be hesitant when going to the right. So there must be some sort of maybe a smiting thing or some sort of.
All right, Bob.
Yeah,
Yes.
play your harp as you go.
This chamber is filled with the same damp soil that fills the long alcove directly to the east.
Mm-hmm.
The faint smell of mildew and earth is faintly detectable.
Okay.
But other than that, it seems to be a long, empty chamber. But your instinct kicks in and you begin to explore it.
That's how you scout.
And you disappear.
I disappear.
Yep.
Oh, dang.
So the rest of
It's
you
like
see
Tomb of Horrors. I'm going to end up without any.
the rest of you see Bob move into the chamber, and then he just disappears into the darkness.
Now, I noticed
All right,
this happen
well,
to
let's go.
myself.
Well, you obviously noticed that happened, but the other party members don't know what happened to you, Bob. So
Well, I'm just saying, I noticed that I'm gone.
well,
like
no,
I've
you don't know.
disappeared?
You don't know anything right now.
Well, then I'm
Bob.
going to say something.
Simus.
Amos.
No. Yeah, you could say whatever you want, but
I'm just saying, the first thing I would think of
time has stopped for you.
yeah, Bob, time has stopped
Just-
for you. So the rest
Just
of you,
to let us know that you're gone.
right?
Okay.
They see you. They see you walk to the
we
left
should have done
and
the
then
old rope trick.
and then disappear.
Hide me in.
So I see him disappear. I
Yeah.
look at them. I'm like, all right, back to the statue room then.
See, that was pretty good gallows humor, GM Scott. That was really well done. That's good. That's good. First one.
First official
We
one.
actually did it.
We officially did it.
I forgot about it. I
There
didn't
was
even
a
do it on
great
purpose.
There's a great Saturday thing where you could see Darth is really hurting. He's like, oh, I need that fate point. And he's just like, oh, this is so he's so hurt that he's like, oh man, there's something. And he makes this really pained effort to talk in character and make this bad joke. And and he's like, that hurts so bad, but I needed the fate point so bad.
All
right.
I gotta go. I can't wait to watch the Saturday Crew.
So Karanelos, you disappear. The rest of you see Karanelos step into the hallway and he disappears as soon as he gets even one step into this chamber, to the long alcove of dirt. So what do you guys want to do?
I will run up to the edge
Yep.
of that chamber, but not go in.
Yep.
And yell in, Karanelos!
Your voice carries and
Karanelos.
echoes normally, but GM Scott, with your wizard's trait talent, you can see the faint fading aura of a magical effect, a teleportation effect.
Okay. Now, is there an actual room, or
Oh
is
yeah,
it
I mean it's
just blackness?
No. It looks just kind of like the other chamber, a little bit different, where it's kind of like a hallway room, dead end, and filled with kind of soil, gravy soil. Smells like mold and mildew. Kind of looks almost exactly the same, actually.
Did he look like he was walking with reticence as he moved?
He was. No, I mean, he was being cautious, right? He was scouting. He was trying to be, kind of discreet.
Because sometimes he can get a little exuberant.
Right. All right. I need to know what the three of you are doing, and then that will determine what we do from here.
Yeah, I'll just kind of look back and he's portaled somewhere. Something took him somewhere. Do we want to try and follow?
That's really what I want to know.
take out my spider rope and throw one end through.
Okay. You throw your spider rope into the room. Nothing happens.
Should we tie it to the altar? Give us a lead.
The spider rope went into the room. It didn't
Yeah.
like.
It went in the room just fine.
Like, I want to hold on to one end, and
Yeah, oh, I got you.
Yeah, no, he didn't throw the whole thing.
Yeah,
in there.
Organic teleportation or some nonsense from Tomb of Horrors.
All right. Do we want to poltergeist
Was
this?
that Tomb Annihilation?
I'll pick up the rope and try and clear my mind. Holding onto the rope.
I tie off the end to the altar.
Okay, fair enough. Easy done.
Actually, good idea. Maybe I'll tie the other end to myself
Okay.
instead of trying to hold it. Set the staff down, grab the staff, and then start to walk forward.
All right.
Slowly.
GM Scott
With
Tane.
reluctantly.
Tane,
With reticence.
Tane disappears, and the rope draws to the ground.
Ugh.
This room's getting a little crowded wherever we teleported.
All right. We should. That means the rope.
2 down.
2 down.
Hey, 2 more, and we won't have to worry about this demon. We'll be in another plane somewhere, living it up.
We'll switch to Daggerheart.
We can't leave our friends. We should tie the rope. Didn't do us any service, right? It immediately went slack.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, he
portal to the
disappeared.
Colossus world.
He disappeared, like, from it, like, it's like he disappeared and the rope that he had tied around himself
It
fell
didn't
down.
get cut.
No, it didn't get cut.
It
Didn't get cut.
Okay.
All right. Let's untie the rope, take it with us, and let's go in there and we need to save our friends. We can't help them here.
Decisions.
Amos is like, friends? Question mark.
Or stay here and maybe you can figure out something with this archway.
Yeah, Sadok's like, you go trap the demon. I'll see you later.
And Sadok will scamper into the portal, through the archway.
Scamper?
All right, Amos. Everyone disappears.
yeah.
Scampered
Untie the rope
reluctantly.
and
By the way, it is-
grudgingly
All right, yes.
go into the hallway.
All right, Amos, you disappear.
Now with Sadok in here, is it room lit? Or wherever
Well,
we're at?
now
So-
time resumes for you, Bob.
Now time resumes for you, Bob.
You
So-
have to hold out 3 rounds before we show up.
Coronalos, you appear. Well, luckily, no one made any
Checks.
checks. Tests is the actual correct term. But
All right. Yeah, tests.
you disappear and appear in darkness. And as your sort of eyes begin to slowly adjust, you realize that this room is completely black. Like you can't see anything. But then Euphonius, which you are holding, begins to glow and gives you barely enough
The heart?
illumination. Yes.
Yeah.
Gives you
in my backpack glowing.
Yeah, it's giving you just enough illumination to sort of barely make out this
Since
chamber.
it's right on top, the flap doesn't cover it. So
right.
light is
It's kind
coming
of
out.
it's kind of leaking out. It's like about as much light as you get from like your alarm clock, in a dark room. And so you're able to just make out a completely square chamber with no entrances and no exits,
Lovely.
Except for a big square hole in the wall.
except for a big square in the hole in the wall. Which I tried. I think I recall trying. Now I'm remembering. Now I tried to put like a skull in there, and it wouldn't work. And so I ended up just making another skull in my mid-journey thing. So hold on a sec here.
I'm glad I mentioned it.
Thank you. I was lost without it. It's gonna be like some massive thing here. All right, there we go. Loading, please wait. So as your eyes adjust, Coronalos, to the chamber, your instinct technically still triggers, Bob.
Sweet. Scout.
So you get to make a scout roll.
Now, let me see here. Can I
Yep.
do this scared?
No, yeah, of course you can. I mean,
Oh my God.
the only thing you can't do scared, Bob, is
No, I mean I'm not using the word afraid. I'm using like opposite of calm.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, you're not being calmed. You're being panicked.
Yeah,
Well,
I just disappeared into a room that I don't know anything about, but I'm supposed to be scouting.
The problem
how does
is
this work?
calm. You're always calm. But the question
Okay.
is, how is calm a disadvantage here?
Yeah,
You're
Saying
not
if
afraid
it-
of the flaming skull that's about
Right.
to eat you.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, then the loner would be almost a disadvantage here because I don't want to be alone. Like I want my friends back as I'm by myself. Hypothetically, I came in first.
Well,
So
right.
I
Remember,
appeared
you
in this
are
room
a
first.
loner.
Yeah.
So how is that giving you a penalty here?
Because
Yeah, exactly.
my thought was my guy would go instantly in panic. I've sort of started to rely on my friends to help me through this.
So maybe you're no longer a loner.
Well, that's
Right.
I changed my belief earlier because of that.
Right. And your traits do get to update, by the way, in the winter phase. You know, which we get to in the winter phase. In fact, you're the GM, and then I think your allies, your players, get to nominate one of your traits that they don't think longer applies, and then you can update it and change it. But the question here is, for all intents and purposes, you are still a loner. How is that hurting you in this situation, right?
I would think it hurt me in this situation because instead of just going to check on things and going back to my friends, I've actually isolated myself from my friends.
Okay.
And in this case, I think it hurts because I have no backup. I have being alone actually is the worst case scenario for what I've just encountered.
Correct.
And like I said, I think personally, Kronos would be a little bit frightened about what just happened and transpired.
Yep. All right. That
so
makes sense.
I would like to scout nervously and, but again, acting sort of against my loner ability here.
Yep. Okay. So
it
is an ob2 scout check.
Ob2 scout check.
Because there is stuff to see here.
Ob2. All right, here we go. Oh, these don't look good. 0 successes.
Okay. So Bob, mark a failure.
Yep.
Mark a check. All right, Bob, as you appear, you begin peering around into the darkness. And as you do so, you suddenly see a flicker of flame on the far side of the room in an alcove. The depth of the floor is difficult to determine because of the dense, thick layer of soil above it. And this darkened skull, gleaming with a red radiance, sits in a tiny alcove in the center of the west wall. It begins screaming and yelling in an ancient language. And as it does so...
This is what I was talking about. Being alone sucks right now.
And as it does so, did I...
Only you had some way to understand him, Ted.
I deleted.
I know, that's what I think is...
Why do I
I'm going to yell back at it here in a second.
I'm so like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm so...
Discombobulated?
No, I'm a very lazy...
Out of it? Oh.
I'm very lazy as a GM. And so like, I always just like, delete stuff, you know, like instead of just like
actually
saving it, I just
deleting stuff takes energy. I have so much crap laying around because I don't delete stuff.
Bob, you see
zombie?
Yep. You see
Scheißen.
Hey, this doesn't seem any different than that other room.
Oh, this looks like more.
Oh yeah, it does.
11, 12, 13.
There we go. Perfect. 13 zombies emerge, and then Tane appears next to you.
Hey, good. I won't die alone.
Hell did you do?
Followed shortly thereafter by Sadok. There's going to be a brief lull while Amos kind of comes in.
Let's go back.
There is no way out of this room. There is no exit or entrance. And then the voice from the skull like screams out in an ancient tongue. It's like I'm trying to think of an example of that. You know, like from the David Lynch Dune movie. This will only make sense to the two people when the guild navigators are talking into the box and like in their harsh tongue, and then it translates it like a second or two later into
the
English.
Bald guy, yeah,
like the bald guy with the tube sticking out of his head.
Yep.
So like the skull is like, and then the harp, like a second or two later, chimes, and you hear a voice ring out from it, and it says, "Your presence here constitutes your agreement to the trials. Choose your measure. Test by strife or test by wit."
Well, I think I would go by wit.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go with wit.
And then Amos, you appear after apparently they've made their decision.
I just did this.
Easy. It's a wit
Deja
test.
vu.
All right, so you appear in the chamber, Amos, and the flickering light of the torch reveals a glowing red skull and 13 zombies, which are now all moving to the sides of the corridor after the Karamelos, wielder of Euphonius, says, by wit.
Mm-hmm.
13 zombies here, apparently to lead a trivia contest.
All right.
Well,
I
a
just
couple
looked-
of things.
I just looked at 8 burden, and that's not good.
Well, a couple of things. Well, if you don't have the harp, you can't understand them.
It's
So they
by
just-
default,
they-
it's might. Yeah.
they just attack
By
you.
strife.
But also, then you are potentially stuck here for all time. Anyways, the spirit, the skull, or whatever like that, starts to kind of rise up, the red energy glowing from him, and it says, "Very well, let the contest begin." And we enter a riddling conflict.
Good thing we brought halfling. You're on, buddy.
All
Just try to
right,
cover all the base. We got a peasant, we got a riddler.
we have a Mr. Frost, we have a Poison Ivy. No, all right,
I am sprinkling so much salt on my riddles.
all right.
Well, you have the undead salt. That might help.
So this is a this is a conflict. This is a riddle conflict, and so riddle conflicts are kind of weird. It is an abstract concept of a riddling contest, which means you don't literally have to come up with riddles, and you don't literally have to answer them. Right? The idea is that you guys are sort of trying to tell each other riddles and get the other person to fail on them and to lose them. Okay.
Oh, ask him what's in your pocket.
Okay. That doesn't count, precious. However, there is something that's very strange about a riddle conflict, which is if you actually tell a riddle, it counts as a weapon, and you get +1 die and +1 success for attacking.
Okay.
But if you know the answer, it's worth +2 successes on a defense.
Okay.
Okay.
So
That's
if
usually pretty decent. at
So
these
if
things.
if you want to, you can actually tell a riddle and use it as like a weapon. And then if I have the answer and I'm defending, it counts as like +2 successes in the defend action. But if you don't want to tell a riddle, that's fine. You can just describe how your character, elaborates on a riddle. And, again, it's this sort of abstract concept of you guys are sort of going back and forth, trying to outwit them and outmaneuver them and sort of, get them to fail the test of the riddle, right? The test of wits. In reality, we'd be sitting here going like, okay, there were 4 kings and 3 queens, and 3 queens had 3 sons, and the sons each belong, it'd be some puzzle thing that you got. But if you want to,
How many were going to St. Ives?
right. But if you want to, you can do this. Okay, so this is a riddle conflict. So you guys will need to pick a conflict captain. Normally, to be able to do a riddling conflict, the only you can actually riddle against anyone of any might and any precedent.
I elect Sadak the Riddler.
But
Well,
the only conflict is you have to be able to actually understand them. Euphonius allows you to do that, so that's why we are here. In a riddling conflict, you roll manipulator plus will for your disposition.
Ooh.
And you attack and feint with manipulator, and you defend and maneuver with lore master.
Oh gosh, these are not good for me.
And obviously, if you have nature, you can use that particularly if it's fits your descriptors or whatever like that case may be.
manipulator.
Other than that,
Manipulator is attack.
And fate.
yeah, manipulator.
plus will.
Yeah. So,
Right.
and the disposition is manipulator plus will. As a reminder,
okay.
your disposition is going to be -2. You have someone who's exhausted, and you're all hungry and thirsty.
Why didn't we drink before we went in? All right. And then is manipulator.
And here's the problem. I'm manipulator 0.
I've got a 2, but I'm 1
Well,
failure.
no,
from a
Ryan,
3.
that's good.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I
you
can
could use your
Because
nature.
if you had manipulator 1, you'd have to use manipulator 1. But because you don't have manipulator, you can use your nature, and it won't even count as outside of your nature because one of your nature traits
Yeah.
is Riddling.
Riddle.
And it's a wise.
Excellent job, Captain.
All right.
So there you go. Good stuff.
So I will make a will check because right? Or
Nope.
do I this is a riddle check?
Yes, you are
Nature
going to
check.
use your. It is technically a manipulator test, but you don't have it, so you can use your
Nature
nature.
or will.
Yeah, nature.
And it's modified by my will or no?
Correct.
Only for disposition.
Okay, so a couple things here. So the roll type here, so
Yeah.
Ryan, is
Yeah.
disposition.
Okay.
So change that. And it's going to say added to will. So you're going to be rolling your 3 dice of your nature, adding it to your will. Then on the bottom of the middle column, Ryan, there are 2 checkboxes. -1S if anyone in your party is hungry and thirsty. And then there's another checkbox, -1S for anyone who is exhausted. So you're going to roll 3 dice, add it to your will, and then subtract 2.
Yeah. And there's
Now-
nothing else to add to that.
Unless someone is helping you, or you're using a trait, or you want
Alright.
to you want to channel your persona, blah 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 blah.
Can we help each
Yes.
other on disposition checks?
You can always help each other on disposition checks.
I cannot help,
If
as I am afraid.
you can, right? So Amos can't help; he's afraid, and for you to help, you have to be able to help manipulator, because that is still the core skill
right.
of this.
So I have manipulator.
So then you can describe. Now remember, disposition isn't you actually attacking; it's just sort of like
It's the hit points.
it's
of
the hit points. It's
conflict,
how ready
yeah.
you are for this, So the description of the help can be pretty, loosey goosey. It's more of just like,
Yeah.
it's more like you crack your fingers and you get ready to spin
Well, it's
up some crazy weird yarns.
yeah. It's like as soon as he said strife or wit, and we said wit, and he said, "All right, it's going to be riddles." I mean, even if you roll back the tape, I even turned to him and said, "Oh, this is your bag. Come on, let's go, let's get ready." So I mean, words of encouragement and doing what I can to help him get in the zone.
Okay,
So one help.
one help, and then Bob left, so there's that.
Yeah, well, he's off
I would like to.
exploring
So I
another
have
room.
some personal. So I have. So I'd like to do whatever I can here to help myself with channel my nature.
Okay, so you're already using your nature, which is rolling with your nature, but you can still channel your nature.
Yeah.
So what you can do here then, Ryan, is checkbox, take the current persona, tick it down by 1,
Take
And
current
then-
persona.
and then take the total spent and tick it up by 1. This is at the top of the middle column. Then what you can go ahead and do is click the channel nature button. This is within your nature,
Yeah.
so you're good there.
Persona spent plus 1D, and then
Well, no, persona spent plus 1D would let
Would
you
be
add
somebody else.
additional. If you want to spend more persona, each persona point will give you 1 dice.
But yeah, okay. I think that's everything I can do for this. Besides maybe Bob helping me, so I'll wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm back, but I don't know how I'm going to help you with the Riddler thing. I don't have no manipulator. I
It's
have
just
no
getting him
doorman.
ready,
Do you have Persuader?
pumping him up.
I have 2 in Persuader,
So
actually.
there you go. You can help. You just have to describe in a rough sense what is Coronalos doing as a persuading to help the disposition, to help the party's hit points for this conflict.
I would think, in general, maybe
He
would
just
be-
says, "We got this."
he would be starting to get the harp out
Okay, yeah.
from his back.
Totally.
Being able to understand this is actually very key to us.
Yep, that makes total sense.
Oh.
So go ahead and add a help.
Yep. And can I put the harp into my hands?
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's the start of the conflict. You're fine. It's
Yep,
not-
I did everything. 2 help.
Yep.
Channel nature. Okay. 8. All right. I'm rolling.
All right. So you got 4 successes minus 2 because of the penalty.
Oh,
So-
no.
2 successes.
Oh, plus 5 will. Okay.
And then plus 5 will. So you have 7 disposition.
okay.
Is there? I have Can I spend 1 point to add see, it's my step 1/6.
You can
My fate.
so go back to your roll.
Okay.
So you want to use luck.
Luck.
Yep. So you're gonna mark a feint spend by making your current fate down 1 and your spent fate
Alright,
up by
there we
1.
go.
And then the number of 6s is not 0 but 1.
1.
And then you can roll with luck. And this will add
Nice.
1 more success. All right. So now
Love
you
it.
have a total of 5 successes plus 5 will is 10 disposition but -2 because you're both exhausted and you're hungry and thirsty. So you have 8 points to spread evenly amongst the 4 of you, which means you all get 2.
Nice.
Now I will roll his disposition. His nature is D6. His nature is 6, so I'm going to roll 6 dice.
Oh, good. I was hoping all 13 zombies wouldn't get to roll either.
No, they're not helping.
They're mindless. Hopefully they can. Yeah.
So I got
22.
Well, I
Oh,
just rolled
never
66.
mind.
I got 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to add that to his nature, which is 6. So he has 9 disposition.
Ouch.
Okay.
Okay, so we're pretty evenly matched here. Now
You
you
definitely got this.
guys have the advantage, of course. Now your conflict
Picture of
captain.
this room is pretty interesting with like these zombies all over the place and this flaming skull fighting us.
But they're not even fighting you. You guys are engaged in
I
a
know.
riddle to
But
the
just
death.
looking at it, you're like.
By the way, it
okay.
should go without saying that what a failure might represent here. Just let you know.
Embarrassment.
Embarrassed. That's right. Oh, you're embarrassed.
That's
oh,
all it is.
I'm so embarrassed. Okay. So, first things first, this is a riddle conflict, so we don't really have to like set this precise order and stuff like that. And just going to equip a weapon or to that end or whatever like that. So the way it'll work is if someone attacks, they have the option. This is how we're going to do it. If someone attacks, they have the option to tell a riddle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if someone defends and they answer that riddle, they get +2 successes. And if you attack, that's when you would do the thing. So that's how that's going to work. So this guy's going to start it out. Of course, remember in this situation, who knows? It's very abstract, So, I mean, attacking means that you're obviously like, telling riddles and trying to, get the person to lose. Defending means you're answering riddles and sort of countering back with your own, but actually, I get 3. I should get 3 responses to that. Maneuvering is sort of you, maybe trying to confuse them or something like that. And fainting is a bullshit riddle. Like, what do I have in my pocket, right? Like, because it's not really a riddle, and you don't get anything of that nature, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the conflict deck. And the skull spirit sort of, appears before you and, of course, begins the battle of the battle in full earnest against you.
And I say like all the riddles I know off the top of my head, Derek knows the answers to. So it's not even like I'm like trying to think of any of the riddles. So we used to do riddles all the time with my kids, but I can't think of anything like off the top right now.
Okay. And again, it's abstract, so
No, but it'd been cool to think of a good riddle.
I don't think he's gonna be defensive, right? So I think he's probably gonna
Yeah, he might come up
attack or
swinging.
faint.
You test us first, you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he might come out pretty strong. Maybe we should defend. Is that what you're thinking, or do you want to try
Well,
and maneuver?
I think it's maneuver or defend. If enemy plays, we don't want to faint because I think he's an attack. If
Yeah,
he
so as a
faints and we
reminder,
faint-
attack versus feint. The feint gets canceled. You were trying some bullshit, and they just came in straight for the throat. Feint
Yeah,
doesn't
so
even get to
that's
go.
not That's
Yeah.
what we don't want.
we don't wanna
Faint
do.
cancels defense. So if someone's
Okay.
trying to be reasonable and be defensive, and someone comes up at you with some bullshit, you get canceled out. Maneuver can never be canceled out, but obviously maneuver only helps you with the next roll.
We answer his riddle that we come back with our own. So like a maneuver attack, or
What do you think he is going to do?
right. I think he's going to attack or he's going to feint. I don't think he's
Yes.
going to defend. But maybe he might maneuver.
I'm thinking like attack, feint, like attack, mess with us a bit, and then like maybe
He might
I
set
know.
up his maneuver or his attack with a maneuver.
Yeah, and how do you can't counter a maneuver, but what's the best thing to do with a maneuver? Attack back?
Well,
Or
the main
attack
thing with a
first?
maneuver is if maneuver,
Still trying to.
the reason why it's different is because if you feint or maneuver against a maneuver, it's independent.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
If you
Right, okay.
attack or defend against a maneuver, it's versus.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
you want to like feint usually,
Maybe.
depending on what I
maneuver
guess.
ourselves. Just try and
Well, I don't think we want to because if we attack, we're gonna get hit. So I think we should either defend or maneuver.
I agree.
Yeah. The downside to defending is defense does nothing for you
Yeah, I
Like
would
they-
maneuver first.
except to regain
Yeah.
hit points. But you can't
Yeah.
regain hit points when you're at max.
Or prevent hit
Alright.
points from being lost?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
well,
it-
defense is versus. So maneuver is
Yeah.
versus. They
Mhm.
do the same thing. It's just that if you succeed with the defense, you can heal. If you succeed with a maneuver, you get to maneuver. But they're both versus, so they both
Mhm.
Yeah.
cancel an attack.
So maybe we should just start off with the maneuver then.
That,
Yeah, I think
that's what I was
maneuver.
thinking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you assign it to a person. Remember, in
Good
this,
luck.
remember, maneuver and defend are lore master, and attacking and defending are manipulator. But you also
I
have your
neither
nature.
skill.
You also have your
I have
nature.
a 2. I have a 2 in lore master.
I have 4.
I'm using my will or I'm using my nature, no matter what.
So
on the
if
other
you're
piece.
if you're defending or maneuvering, I'm okay at that. But the attacking and fainting, not my strong suit. Because I'd be beginner's lucking, which is
Or using your nature outside of it.
yeah. I mean, I can remember a funny joke.
Well, no, that's not how remembering works. What happened yesterday? Elves, very good memory. No, it's like
Was that a successful nature check when I did the disposition? No, right?
no, it is not,
No.
because it's not even against Ob-Zero. It's just
Right.
you can't fail it or pass it.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
All right, so put someone up for maneuver. I don't mind if you want to use me.
I don't know where these. I've never done this before. So.
Oh, it's
Oh.
in the bottom right corner. You see those little card deck?
Yeah.
You click on that and grab the card you want.
Did you grab the card you wanted?
With
I don't know. I
choose.
can't. How do I see it?
Oh,
If
okay.
you
flip
hover
it.
over the deck, it says choose.
Oh,
And then you
I
pick
see.
one and drag it on the. You gotta pick one of us because there's only 3 of us into a conflict at one time.
Correct.
Okay.
Also, remember who. Oh, you know what? Riddling is the exception.
You can riddle in the dark.
You can riddle in the dark.
Yeah.
You get no penalty to your actions when you riddle in darkness or dim light.
So our best lore master is Tane.
Probably.
Boothby, clear point of burden. That was well done.
And
For
then,
knowing-
Take it.
For knowing your Tolkien. For knowing your Tolkien.
so maneuver, and then do we want to attack, or do we want to? What do we want to do on the next?
After the maneuver?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Well, the idea is that maneuver is going to set you up to do something.
For whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so
I would
maybe we
say-
should attack.
Feint
I
or
don't know.
attack. Which would not be my strong suit because that's manipulator.
well, I
Maybe
can
man-
do. I can
Maneuver,
do
attack, defend.
Okay, I'll do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll do. I'll go and I'll attack.
You said
then-
Derek beginner's luck has to use nature.
Wait, what's that?
For beginner's luck on like manipulator. I
Yeah.
have to use my nature,
No.
even though like nothing. Oh, okay. So what would I be rolling? Just will?
Your sheet would tell you.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Do W or H, yeah.
W.
So
think
I
you-
have
do
a
you thi-
4 then for my will.
Do we want to attack or feint, or I don't know here. I'm
Let's just wing it. Let's see what happens.
And who-
YOLO.
Who's going last?
feint is manipulator.
Yeah,
Uh,
which would be.
Who's what are your guys'? Do you have any manipulator?
I have to
either
use
of those?
will, which is 4.
I have 2 in manipulator.
You can pick me if you want me to roll with will.
Yeah, I just want some input. I'm not necessarily know what the right thing to do here is, and I just feel like
I mean,
So
if
just
you screw up, we
reading
die.
Derek. Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, Ryan. Just you know what, Ryan? You're the conflict captain. You're the riddle master.
Yeah.
Just go with whatever, man. There-
Well, I just hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't.
When in doubt, attack because it can't ever be fucked.
Oh, okay.
So there's that.
Well, I
If
did
you're gonna
defend. Maybe we can recover
defend-
whatever
Okay.
we went.
If you're gonna defend, then I have to use
Lore master.
lore master, which I only have a 2 in. So if you want, we can attack or feint, and I can use my will.
Let's attack.
Yeah,
All right,
let's get
there
him
you go.
with some riddles.
All right.
Riddle me this, Batman.
I just don't want the feint to get fucked if they do.
All right.
That's something.
So the spirit flies up in front of you, and we'll continue with our history lessons. And reverberating from the harp's strings, his guttural voice comes out, but then comes out of the harp in this sort of melodic notes. 30 white horses on a red hill. First they chomp, then they stomp, then they stand still. Now, attack versus...
That's more of a statement.
Now, attack versus maneuver is a versus. So, GM Scott, you're going to be rolling this because it's a versus roll. So, it's going to be you're maneuvering. So, you're going to make a lore master roll. Okay.
Ready?
So this is some kind of am I allowed to talk to him, or is this like
we can help, right? So we can.
this has got to be some kind of teeth joke, right?
Okay,
Or something
if you help, you can help with the riddle.
this is
so
a teeth thing, right? 30 white horses are teeth
You
or
would
something.
think,
and
yeah.
it's
So,
They
Bob,
stomp
chomping.
and they chomp.
So hold on a sec. I just want to
Red
make sure
Hill's a tongue
I want to get
or
sure we get this
Here it
correct
comes.
because this is always the problem. The roll type is versus GM Scott,
Okay.
and you are going against its nature, which is 6 dice. But he told a riddle, so he gets +1 dice and +1 success. So it's 7 dice, and then he'll add a success at the end if he's successful. So that
Okay.
is the base. Okay?
And is this going to take one turn of the grind?
It does not. You're in a conflict.
Okay.
So the whole conflict takes 1 turn off the grind. Now,
So
at this
I have Lore
point,
Master 4.
you have Lore Master 4. So you are maneuvering, which means you are trying to sort of, describe how you're, again, you could do it abstractly, but, you're sort of using your language and your sort of knowledge to sort of set up for the next, to put him off guard, to set him up for the next action that you guys are taking. Maybe you're more not really telling riddles, but you're more intimidating him or, getting your group ready to make a really good riddle in your next thing. So it's more abstract. You're not directly
Right.
attacking him.
Okay. So yeah, and you said if we try and answer it,
If you answer it and you are correct, you will get +2 successes. Not
okay.
dice, successes.
successes.
But if you're wrong, you get -2 successes.
Okay.
You say something like, I don't know, like depends on if the wisdom teeth are out.
Yeah.
Now, this is a maneuver, right? So you're not technically like full out answering it. You're sort of being more coy
Yeah,
about it.
that's what my point is. Like you're not answering, but like telling him like you didn't say it right.
Right. That's the maneuver.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, like I said, that wasn't even a question.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
It was more of a statement.
That's more of the maneuver. There you go. That's pretty good. Okay. So now, of course, Boothby cannot help. He is afraid, but Sadak and Karanalos can help. This is Lore Master. So Lore Master could be helped with Arcanist, Lore Master, or Theologian. Or your nature, if it applies.
Yeah, I'll help with my nature.
Right, obviously. So,
All right.
I guess I have to help with Lore Master then at this point.
well, right, that was you going, it's got to be
Yeah.
teeth, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
literally what you're doing. All right, so that's 2 helping dice there, GM Scott. And and do you want to give an answer?
It's up to you. I mean, I don't know if it's teeth or mouth or something.
I-
You didn't really ask a question.
What is the riddle again?
30 white horses on a red hill. First they chomp, then they stomp, then they stand still.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's like a mouth or teeth. That's my
Makes
guess. It
sense.
could be
That's
something
about
totally
right.
I'm not even thinking correctly. That's just what
What do
came
you
to
guys
mind
think?
first.
Boothby
Yeah.
can't help. He can't
Boothby can't help.
No,
First thing.
all right.
What's the first thing to do?
First they stomp.
No, you can help, Dennis. It's fine.
First they stomp. Then they chomp. Then they
No,
stand
no.
still.
Man of honor.
You're too afraid. Yeah, all right, fair enough. All right, well, he wants to answer quickly, so make your decision, GM Scott.
Yeah, it's got to be teeth.
All right, teeth. All right, let us roll the dice.
All right.
Ooh, some of those look good.
There's a lot of dice.
Oh no,
One.
not those are theirs. Man.
All right, well, here's
That was fantastic.
Oh, the 6 was on him. Dang it.
here's the deal.
Yikes.
He succeeded. Now you get +2 bonus successes because you were correct. However,
It's not enough.
you don't get those unless +2 successes only
succeed.
count unless you succeed.
Yeah. So even though we answered, we didn't really answer it on time, or we
Yes,
answered it kind of.
And so, because this is a riddle conflict, I'm just going to basically,
Shh.
I'm going to count them anyways because we're using this kind of weird variant of the answers. So instead of getting 1 success, you got 3 successes.
Okay.
But he got 5 successes because I did tell a riddle. So that means he beat you by 2.
Mhm.
Okay.
So basically, virtually, he's like you said, he's giving this response, and you're kind of like, Teeth, and he goes, "You can't help. That's not the way that this works. It must be honor bound between each of them. Only this theurge has, any modicum of respect and intentionality. Plus, you guys threw out like 3 or 4 words before you. Was it teeth? Was it gums? Was it mouth? Which one was the real answer? And you're sitting here arguing semantics
Checks
with
out.
me.
Checks
Yes,
out.
you may be correct, but you have not you have sort of violated the terms of what this thing means. So, Tane,
So that was a failed lore master.
correct. It's a failed lore master.
All right.
And then you have to take a point of damage, Tane, and somebody else has to take a point of damage.
No, I would say it's Mir. Obviously, Mir Sada.
Yeah, I think that's very appropriate.
What
Yeah.
do you want?
You can take it.
Okay.
All right,
So
Karanos. All right. So next is Sadok. That's Ryan. He's coming in with his own attack.
Uh-huh.
So the skull is continuing to. He's trying to continue to be like, you do not even respect the ancient ways of the way of the riddle. Do you not know your Tolkien? Do you not know how this works? Did you not read chapters 5 and chapters 9 of The Hobbit? Come now. And he's trying to like basically argue semantics with you. He's not actually attacking you with a new riddle. He's just explaining the rules of the game. Yes, he's explaining the rules of the game to you. All right, Sadok.
All right, so I'm gonna use my nature.
Okay.
Because I don't have it.
Okay.
I am not gonna tell a riddle because I would have to look one up, and I don't feel like that's.
No, that's not that. That is against the spirit of this. If you have to look up a riddle, yes, I agree.
I just got this riddle book. Right?
Yeah, right. ChatGPT, give me a riddle that'll fuck Derek. Yes.
This is versus.
I can whisper one to you.
No, this is versus.
Yep. Yes. This is attack. This is the same thing we just had, but now in reverse. Yeah, exactly.
I am going to channel my nature.
Oh, okay. So you're going all out. So it's like one of
Yeah.
those situations like Ryan's not telling a riddle because Ryan isn't a good riddler. But Sadok tells the fucking riddle of all riddles.
Yeah,
he goes
right.
super deep in on his halfling nature, and he's just like spinning this epic tale where he's using turns of phrase and witty little double entendres, and he's just creating this absolute banger of a riddle, and we will never get to know what it is because we're just not
great roll. Too.
And some of these things don't even make sense unless you're a
now.
halfling.
This is technically a manipulator roll, so anybody can help this with manipulator,
Oh, heck
haggler, or persuader.
Yeah, I am definitely all in a manipulator.
Okay.
Let me think here. So persuader. Oh yeah. So I might, Sadok has been thinking about what he should say, and I tell him and sort of what GM Scott was thinking. I think is a good idea. Is it like, get him one of those halfling jokes? This has got to be some kind of elven spirit. There's no way they're gonna know that.
Perfect.
So I'm just going with a little persuasion here. Hit him with that good halfling joke.
Got it. All right. So that's a die of help then, Ryan.
Yes.
Okay.
To ask him the one about, the thing crawls on 4 legs in the morning and 2 legs in the
He's a-
afternoon and
he's a-
3 legs in the evening.
He's a floating skull. He will never get it.
Exactly. He doesn't even have legs.
Right.
That'll definitely work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the second die of help then, Sadok. Sadok. Oh, yeah.
I want to use my quick wit, but
Yep.
I'm now debating on how I want to use it.
Okay.
I will use it against me. Maybe I don't. I'm too quick with it. I think I'm just naturally good at it. So I go for like a weak one
Okay.
rather than a.
You don't. You know what? You don't respect him enough as a riddler. You're a halfling. You're like, I got to bring it down a little bit for this guy. I'm so smart and I'm so clever that I'm just gonna be like. You're gonna be like, yeah. You know what? You're like, all right, guys, I got it. What is the beast that walks on 4 legs in the morning and 2 legs in the afternoon and 3 legs in the evening? He'll never get it. He's an idiot.
That's the halfling joke I was thinking.
I think this is going to come up. Wait, I got to use this
Totally going to work.
against.
Yeah. So actually, you clear. Yeah, clear that, Ryan. X
Yeah.
that. So you didn't use it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna give you a check. Okay.
And then
Now,
fear
wait a
focus, I don't have any.
I'm gonna make it difficult for you here, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a versus test. So if you want, you can give -1 die to your roll and get 1 check. Or instead, you
the
can give
tie.
him 2 dice. You won't take a penalty, but he'll gain 2 dice, and you'll get 2 checks.
Yikes. You think these zombies want to camp with us here?
What are we currently at, dice wise, Ryan?
2?
7
3.
versus 6, but this would turn it
you're
to
talking that.
8 versus 8. Actually, let's do that.
Okay. So then what you're going to do? Yep, there you go. For my opponent, perfect. You got it right.
And then that should go up to 8 versus 8, correct?
Oh,
Yeah.
When you click off of it.
Part of the
sometimes.
cards.
Yeah, you got to click off of it. Oh, maybe he did.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. 8 versus 8. Perfect, evenly. Perfectly
Come on,
even.
let's do this.
Perfectly balanced, like all things. All right.
Because the worst is he just gets like a
Right.
benefit, right?
Right.
So-
He's just manipulating. Yep, exactly.
All right.
Maybe it'll be
Good
a
roll.
big. Maybe it'll be a huge roll.
Lots of 6s for us. Come on.
Hey!
Yes.
All
I
right.
am going
Well
to.
done.
I
Oh,
am
he's
to
going in.
Spend my luck.
Okay.
Oh,
To reroll the 6.
So there's 1 6, so that goes down by there and goes up to here. And then can I? No, I guess that's it for now.
No wises.
So
You
I
don't want to reroll.
Well, how do I do the wises?
What are your wises?
I think he's got
Need a little
riddle.
salt. I realize. Ooh, wait, there's something here I can do better.
So what you can do then is you have 2 options, Ryan. Before you use your luck.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can use deeper understanding, spend a fate point, and exclaim, "Aha! I understand now," and explain what you got wrong. Use a wise, and that'll let you reroll 1 failed die. If you spend a persona point, you can exclaim, "Of course!" and explain how you had it all wrong, but now you understand it, and use your wise to reroll all of your failed dice.
I mean, I'm gonna go for it. I have the point. Of course.
We got
I
to.
realize that I'm telling this riddle, and I realize there's a wisdom, like the skull emotes an expression of, "Oh, I got this one. That's an easy one." And then I get him with a twist.
There you go.
Of course, he wasn't expecting this.
I was
Need a
described.
little bit of salt.
That was the bait.
There, I took the bait. Right. So what you're going to do then,
And
what
it's a
you're going to do,
treble,
Ryan,
and he
is
got all 3.
reduce your persona by 1 and your total spent increase by 1. And then you're going to check the persona to gain wisdom. And in your case, you had 4 failed dice, Ryan.
Okay.
So you're going to reroll all of those.
Nice.
Now, Ryan.
Are you allowed to explode these?
Yes. So now,
Yeah.
Ryan, if you use...
Yeah.
So you just rolled 3 6s on that luck roll.
So your character has an 18.
So now, if you use luck and spend a fate point, you're going to explode those 3 6s plus your initial 1 6. That'd be 4 exploding 6s.
Do
Woohoo!
it.
Wow.
Yes.
It's every 6 or it's
All
one
the
per
6s.
6?
All
Oh,
the
wow,
6s.
That's phenomenal.
So
That's what persona is for.
well, in this case,
Oh,
persona
wait,
into
this
luck.
already. I think.
Ah.
I don't think it was at 7. I think this is correct. I think
Oh,
it was at
you
this.
you marked it already. So yeah, so just
Yeah.
tick the 6s up from 1 to 4, Ryan. Now remember, on this reroll of 6s, any further 6s continue to explode.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Do you see where it is, Ryan?
Let's
Yeah.
go L5R.
but I think it's actually this. Yeah. Okay. No. One
Okay.
more.
All right, one more. So
Okay.
you have
Still.
4 successes plus 3 successes plus 1 success is a total of 8 successes on an attack versus maneuver as the halfling spins this incredible riddle and the skull starts to laugh, and that's when Ryan says, "You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish." He's like, and then walks on 18 legs when it is dead. And he's like, "What? No!" And it's like, clearly you do not understand your astral planeology. I am clearly speaking of some fucked up beast from Pathfinder 2. Didn't you not read Bestiary 3?
You do
I
not know
channeled the multiverse.
Yes, I channel the multiverse.
you do not know your astral from your hole in the ground.
Exactly. He is completely. All right. So,
Good one, Scott.
so that
Befuddled.
means he gets nothing for his maneuver,
Nice.
and he is going to suffer. That's 8 versus 3. So 5 points of damage. 1, 2,
That's
3,
fantastic.
4, 5. He is down to 4 of 9.
1, yeah, 4.
Nice.
All right. Well, that was
Not as good as 7 is 9.
7 and 9, not as good as 7 and 9.
Yeah.
Kronos looks at thinks about his
9
joke.
of
And he's
10.
like, man, this is terrible. There's no way as good as the halfling's joke.
Okay. It's an attack versus attack. You guys are both just
yeah.
going for the riddle. All right. Okay, good. I gotta get a riddle here.
All right,
Independent.
Alas. Come on.
Yeah,
Bob,
this is
think of
independent. It's
something.
both of us just riddling at each other. We're just screaming.
Oh,
at each
gosh.
other.
Even if he knows it, it's still better to tell one.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one. It's just not a good one.
Doesn't matter.
Right. Well, no, because if they know the answer, then they get +2 successes.
Oh
I
yeah.
know this is
okay.
terrible, but I
Um,
feel like I have to tell it.
Okay.
My kids like this one, so I'm just going to go.
You should go for it.
Go for it, Bob.
And
Okay,
if it fails, you can blame your kids.
Oh yeah, well, again, my kids know this one, but what goes up but never comes down?
Okay. His riddle to you, Bob. Now remember the honor-bound traits, right? We're just it's just because it's one for one. Bob, what can you put in something to make it lighter?
Okay.
Okay. So Bob, we're both going to get +1
Mhm.
to our dice rolls.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll mine first.
Mhm.
So that's going to be 6d6 for my nature.
Mm-hmm.
This is just an attack versus ob0, but I get a bonus dice because I told a riddle. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So I'm going to be dealing 4 points of damage.
Jeez.
Bob, you get to make your manipulator test,
Which will be my will.
which would be beginner's luck.
Okay.
You can add 2 dice of help because GM Scott and Ryan can help you.
Okay.
You get to add a bonus die because you added you told a riddle.
Okay.
So you should be rolling that plus one more bonus dice.
Just other dice, I
Yep,
guess.
other dice.
Okay.
Yep. And then you can go ahead and roll that.
And okay, and nothing else goes. Okay, so it's okay.
What about the harp?
The harp just gives you precedence, but riddles, the
wait,
precedence doesn't matter.
He could have told his harp while playing it for extra musicality.
All right, so Bob, you got 4 successes as well. So you're gonna kill him unless we can tell the riddle, answer the riddle. So I have to try to answer this riddle.
Okay.
What goes up but never down? What goes up but never down? Your age?
That is correct.
All right, Bob, you want to
I
answer?
assume yours is helium or air or something like that.
No, that technically would make something heavier, but I mean that's kind of not the answer. But
Oh, I was thinking like you put air in a balloon and then the balloon rises. So therefore
Well,
it's lighter
that's
now.
because of displacement. You're actually adding mass to it.
you're actually adding
But-
mass to it.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah.
but obviously,
Can I yell the answer even though it's too late?
yes.
Yeah. You could be like,
Nothing.
idiot.
There's nothing. You put nothing inside. It makes it
Ah.
better.
Yeah, or you could I was thinking you could put a hole.
But that
If you put a hole in something, it makes it
You
lighter.
put a candle in it so it's lighter inside the bag.
All right, but
yeah,
here's
yeah, or a light bulb.
so here's the good news. I got yours right, so I'm
Correct.
going to do 6 points of damage to you guys. But
Nice.
even though you got yours wrong, you still kill me. So,
Oh wow.
but I'm going to do
We're in
6
trouble.
points of damage to you. So
So we're dead
So
too.
we will
minus
have
1,
concessions.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. It was a
Yeah.
Pyrrhic victory. The Pyrrhic riddle.
Great. This is fucking great.
That's the name of the
This
episode.
is fantastic.
Thankfully, I had mine ready to go.
I don't know what happens.
Why didn't you defend, Ryan?
And watch, I'll go to my kids and I'll be like, "What's a good riddle?" And they're gonna tell me one that I'm like, "Oh, I tell that one all the time, and
Yeah.
I just can't remember them all." That was the only one I could think of off the top of my head that I know I tell my kids all the time. And they love it. Or
If you
like,
tell it to them all the time, how do they continue to love it?
because they know the answer. And they're like, "Oh my god, we know the answer!" Just like what gets wetter as it dries.
Oh,
Like,
a towel.
these are like
Towel.
this-
Yeah, sure.
my kids love these ones. Like they're so fun to them.
Okay, here we go. If both sides are reduced to 0 disposition on the same action, the conflict is a tie. Neither side wins, and both must offer their opponent a painful major compromise. This is a very dangerous outcome.
Even on a
Wait.
riddle?
Yep.
We give you a dwarf.
Well, obviously, I can't kill you on a riddle conflict, Bob. All right. So the the suggestion for the compromises here are things like conditions. Obviously, those don't really mean as much to you guys. But
Amos loves those.
Order of Might. So you guys didn't win, but you can extract a major compromise from this guy. So
Way out.
so yeah, so there's obviously
Let's think a little bigger than that, Bob.
Okay.
I mean, that would definitely be one of them that you would probably want to get.
Start, though.
That's a good. That's a good start. That is a good
should
start.
be included.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the options here is for the GM conferences: the adventures tarry too long, or they give up something precious in the consequence. So my compromise is that you guys are going to be made that the riddling contest goes on and on and on
A phase.
and on and on. And when all's said and done, you guys are at it. It's been a full 4 turns of the grind, and the grind occurs.
Wow. Okay.
And during that time, you guys are made all from the long exhausting riddle. Everyone's made exhausted. So that's what I'm offering as my compromise. Like,
And then do we also take another condition for the 4 turns of the clock?
and in exchange for yes.
Damn. So I'd be afraid and exhausted.
So unless you eat, Bob, you can eat.
That's right.
Because you can eat food right away, basically.
Yeah.
In exchange, he will let you out.
That's
he will
good.
he will teleport you out. The zombies will not attack you,
Also good.
and he will give you 3 of the 5 treasure rolls that you get if you beat
I
him.
don't know if we can even take any treasure.
Well, we could always exchange. I could drop some
That's the
stuff.
offer. That's what he's asking. That's what he's offering. You guys can counter back, decide. It's a compromise. We have to negotiate.
This sounds like another riddle.
Let's enter another conflict.
Yeah.
The Amos, if he tries to get exhausted and he can't, does he become injured?
Yes.
Ooh.
If you
I
gain a
have to take
condition,
this. I'll be right back.
no, that's no problem. Oh no, okay, no. I'm sorry, Ryan. No, if you gain exhausted and you're exhausted, you're just exhausted. If the grind happens and you gain a condition that the grind would give you, and you don't, and you have that condition, then you take the next condition on the grind. And if you have that condition, you take the next condition. And if you have that condition, you take the next condition.
Well,
Well, I'm
I am
taking a
definitely
swig of
going
water.
to eat
Yeah.
some preserved
Yeah.
rations here.
Swig of water.
I'm gonna drink my water. So I think we take this. I'm gonna drink my water
I
and
think
I'm gonna
so,
drop
too.
my thing.
Does Tane have anything to drink that we can take off him? I don't see anything on his. Does anybody have?
I'm going to
something
say
to
that
drink?
because Tane doesn't have any quick rations on him, he can't eat in the middle of this conflict.
Damn. That's gonna be rough for him, but it is what it is.
So during our riddling, I become chap and I take a drink of water from my
Yeah, that's all good.
gut bottle and
All right, so I cleared hungry and thirsty, then become hungry and thirsty again from the grind and exhausted from the riddle
Now,
contest.
if you guys accept this,
I think
I
we're
think
accepting it. We're
I
accepting it.
can't think of a better negotiation.
okay. Well, in that case, yeah, we're going to go straight to the grind then.
Mhm.
And yeah, so
Your
if
torch is out.
right, yeah, obviously your torch is out.
I'll add another one.
And you guys lose hungry and thirsty, and then gain hungry and thirsty again, and then everybody also becomes exhausted.
Right.
So the net should be that GM Scott.
Should be angry and exhausted.
Well, he's gonna get grinded. I gotta see what the
He'll be hungry, thirsty, angry, and exhausted.
Yep.
Yeah, but the
Exactly.
grind order doesn't go in that order.
Oh, is it afraid first?
Actually, he's in luck. The thing after hungry and thirsty is exhaust. Oh no, he's not in luck. I'm sorry. He becomes exhausted from the conflict, and then because the grind occurs, he would become hungry and thirsty. But he is hungry and thirsty, so he would become exhausted. But he is exhausted, so he becomes angry.
There we go.
And then after angry is sick, and then after sick is injured, and then finally afraid, and then dead. The grind goes in a different order than on your sheet.
That's right. I keep forgetting that.
Well, they do that to sort of toss it up. Also, I like the idea that the final thing that your character becomes is afraid. That's like the final thing, like because you're just like alone in the dark, hurt, injured, crawling around, barely able to stand up. All right, well, the skull is a
And
man.
your promise?
The skull is a man of his word. Yes, if you go in here without the harp, it's basically you can never escape. It's a TPK because you can't unless you figure out a way to talk to them.
I don't know how to mark it, but I should have 2 checks. Do I mark another thing? Is that what I do to designate a check?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
No,
technically.
you mark it on your traits, Sadok.
Yeah.
Which trait did you use?
I used the success for the player.
What trait?
number
But what
2
trait was that?
Quick-witted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
you
just push another one on the
mark 2
quick-witted.
additional traits on it.
Okay, so right there. Okay, so that's how you do it. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Okay. Roll on loot table 3.
And then check to make
Alright,
sure
sorry
that,
about that.
GM Scott getting back didn't
Yep.
screw up your live where the cameras are.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good.
Okay. I didn't know if it switched their location because Ryan switched with GM Scott on my screen for Zoom.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Weird. It didn't change them for me.
Perfect then.
GM Scott, so you become exhausted and you are also now angry.
That makes sense. You should never have been able to guess my riddle.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
So taking a drink of water would probably be good.
Maybe. Depends on when you guys are planning on camping.
I don't have any.
Pretty dang
Well,
soon.
yeah, that's
As
what.
soon as we get back on the map.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Well, Boothby, why don't you start us off? Roll 2d6 on the loot table.
Oh, your nothing joke remind me of that one riddle. It's like, what does the poor have, the rich want? And what I forget the last part of it is. It's like, what do the poor have, but the rich want? But and if you eat it, you will die.
Right, nothing.
And that's the joke.
Yeah.
For the answer, nothing. I love that's a good riddle.
Ooh, all right. This is fun.
That would have been funny if both of our answers were nothing. We both hit the riddle.
Roll a d6, Boothby. Ooh, and then roll another d6. This is hidden elven armor.
Oh,
Ooh.
am I allowed to wear it?
This
No, it's
is
for dwarfs only.
leather armor, but it is elven leather armor.
Made of elves?
No,
Awesome.
this is elven crafted.
Bears.
It will have its own unique name as it is forged with imbued with craft and care. The wisdom of the ancient maker resonates through the weapon itself. These armors are typically they are fashioned in the skill beyond the mortals. If a wearer would be killed as a result of violence, the armor will absorb the death blow.
Wow.
It will absorb a death blow even if the armor itself was already damaged or used during the conflict. The armor can serve this purpose only once. In addition, the quality of the armor allows the bearer to re-roll the armor or effect die once per conflict. So you guys are going to get a sweet suit of elven leather armor, like some sort of ancient elven...
Does it help? Does it matter if
Alright,
you're an elf or not?
Nope.
Who gets it?
Me.
Anybody. Who
So we're just going to sell it then?
Well,
Okay.
Kane, you can't use leather armor, but...
Bummer.
All right, roll 2d6 then, Ryan. I'll have to make like some sort of token for that leather armor. In the meantime, we'll just bring out this leather. This suit of leather. Bloop.
I mean,
I missed the specifics of the armor, what it does, but I'm
Well, it's leather armor, so there's that. And then if you would die from violence, it can absorb the death blow
gotcha.
once. And it also lets you re-roll for its effect. So the way leather armor works is once per fight when you take damage, roll a d6. On a 4 through 6, it absorbs that point of damage. And so basically this would let you re-roll it once per conflict. But then also if you would die, the leather armor can absorb the death blow once.
Cornelius starts taking off his leather armor.
Yeah, go ahead,
Assuming that he's
Cornelius.
putting it on.
I rolled a 6. Saturn rolled a 6.
Oh, that's another one.
Another suit of elven armor.
Yes.
Wow.
Actually, no.
Elves died here.
We'll
The
go.
whole rack full
We'll
of
go
them.
with a weapon. Roll 3d6, Ryan. Come on, staff, because it's lame as shit. Wait, what, Ryan?
Oh, I just didn't do the macro right. 11.
All right. You find an elven spear.
Oh.
Sounds
impressive.
Only there were a spear user here.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, I like this harp and my bow too much. I do not think a spear would be good for me, unless it specifically needs to be wielded by elves.
No.
Someone else might take a better use of this spear.
Bypass leather armor. Grant +1 to
This has a unique name and will grant a specific wise when wielding it.
Spear-wise?
This confers this wise when held. This wielder may use their wises as if they are owned, and it does not count against their maximum number of wises. In addition, if it's like an orc, you can't. If it's like orc wise, it means you can't necessarily use it. And in some cases, it can be extra effective. So I have to make you a magical spear that does something cool.
Mr. Theurge, you can take this. I don't know if the rest of the party is, but you did so much for us and you bear so many scars.
Oh, there's no scars. It's just bleeding.
He's like, I can't hear you. My ears are bleeding.
We noticed that you weren't in that riddle thing we just did.
And
I
then,
had one ready to go.
Did you?
Well,
all right,
Yes,
test me out, Dennis. Let's go. Come on. Or you want
I
to
didn't say it
save
was
it?
a good one.
You want to save it
I
for
didn't
the
say-
next one? Is that what
I didn't say it was a good one.
okay? Yeah, please.
but I will give him
Hey.
he can take the nice spear and I'll take the other one.
Okay.
Yep.
Just carry it.
A cart overturneth, spilling forth a score of peasants upon the border twixt two kingdoms. Where shall the survivors be interred?
I think he's
You don't
freaking
bury
out.
survivors.
I've heard this
Typically.
airplane joke with America and Canada.
You do not bury survivors.
Tell the flaming skull that.
All right,
Yeah.
Bob, give me a roll of 2d6
Right, they're
to determine
undead.
your loot total. Right, they're like, oh, they're not dead. You raise them, and that's what you do. All right, Bob, 2d6. Come on,
That's
come on.
2d4.
The other 2d6.
How do you fuck up 2d6?
I pressed the first one I
It says
saw.
Bob.
7.
Click, click, click.
All right. Treasures and valuables. Bob, roll 2d6.
Again.
Yeah. These are
Those
treasure
are the-
tables. I
Those
said
are
it
the
was.
square ones.
It's random. I didn't decide it. I just picked
6.
it. Coins. Bob,
Yay.
roll d6. Come on, copper. Come on, copper. Come on. Roll.
What is a skull
4.
thing?
All right, silver. But I was hoping for copper and just.
this skull is just pissed off because of this riddle.
All right.
Well, that's a lot.
6 heaping piles of silver are also yours.
I do have.
I'm just saying, if those were copper, it would have been 12.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, copper takes up twice as much as silver, and gold takes up half as much as silver.
Right.
So,
I will get rid of my jug.
oh no, jug
Not
down,
the jug.
jug down.
Fantastic.
I'll hold on to the normal mundane
I
spear.
can hold 2. I also hold 1 more if I get rid of my water skin. I also could hold the sack in my hand. I want to get fancy here, but rather not. Just want to toss this sack, but let's see, 2, 5. What else do you guys got?
Can I put a pile of silver in my pocket?
No, pocket can only hold things that say pocket.
No.
Like you could hold a silver coin in your pocket, or a small 1 gem.
Mhm.
But this is this is a
Oh, it says pack 1. Okay.
yeah, it's pack 1, so it can only go in
Get rid of the
something
water
packs.
skin for now.
Okay, here comes the jugs, the water. They're empty anyways. Throw it down. Fuck it.
My water skin's full of undead salt.
Okay.
Is there what's
Um,
in my pouch? I can't tell.
So wait, so Sadak, you're taking the regular spear?
Should
Yeah,
be right
I'll hold
below
on to
it.
the regular spear.
Okay.
Your little belt pouch. If you look all
Yeah.
the way down to the bottom. It's got wolfsbane in it.
Oh, I thought that was okay. Yeah, that's right.
I just gotta,
Thank
leave my regular spear.
I can throw my
and take the special
wolfsbane.
one.
Then, if you want me to take some more silver,
Well, that's what Sadak is saying. He's saying he'll take your spear,
Oh,
Boothby, and then you can have
Yeah.
the magic one, the elven spear.
wolfsbane. I can put this in my
Goodbye.
pouch.
Goodbye, fun, useless stuff. We need.
Well, we got bags to hold.
I mean, you also do have a small bag.
Yeah, but then I have to put it somewhere. I have to hold it or.
Well, remember, well, no, that doesn't really help you. But
I'm a two-handed wielder.
I mean, Amos also has 2 bags. Tane is already carrying a bag of gold.
Yep. I'm not setting down the gold to pick up that wolfsbane.
All right. Well, in that case, this will get added to the stuff that you guys have also thrown away this session.
Yep.
So wasteful we are.
Bob, you're letting all this just go to waste. Wow.
I really
Wait.
like money.
No one drank that water before you threw it away?
No.
I drank
Yeah.
it.
That's
I just moved it off my.
that's
character sheet.
deleted water
Okay.
because you guys can't delete.
Hungry again, so. But
Well, I thought we were gonna camp soon. We might.
We are. So we need to. So the grind is fresh, right? So we have a full clock now.
Correct.
Yep.
You have a full clock.
Let's get back on the map.
Yep.
Or where's this guy gonna put us
Or
in
at
that
least
room?
let's get out of this
Yeah.
room.
All right. Yeah, exactly. He goes, well, it was good riddling with you. All right.
Nice riddling. Have fun storming the dungeon.
Have fun storming the dungeon. All right. And then you are back in the hexagonal room with the waning light and the ancient
Okay.
pillar.
All right,
Let's
so
not
how
do-
far are we away from campable?
Let's not do that again. Well, we have to go out into the Hall of Statues. And then beyond the Hall of Statues is the empty hallways. And at that point, we're on the map.
let's do that before we start to camp. Then
Well, I mean, we could camp here.
do you
We
want
know
to?
it's relatively safe.
we
then
should
once
go
we
back
camp,
to our. We should go back to our
everything's
good
in.
camp because
Well,
I will have a
We
free
can't get there
check
until we get to the map.
Right.
well,
so we
it's-
go back. We get back on the map.
Well, that's true. We have
Yeah.
two. We have
Because
what, 4? Because if
at-
we
Yeah, that's
At
I agree.
that-
we make our
at that
dungeoneer
camp,
rolls.
I get a free check to reduce Erder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Amos is right.
So let's make our checks that we need to make to go through the Hall of Statues back to the empty hallways. So
and
we're
I can
on the
still
map.
I can still use some checks as well.
Yes, I think
Since
a lot of us can.
Ryan didn't give me a turn.
Well,
He,
remember.
he greedily did it all himself.
Yes. Okay. Well, you guys then leave from here and you head
Mhm.
into the Hall of Statues.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's gone.
The
as
other
you,
party was already here.
as you enter into the Hall of Statues, there is a
Something big or the golem's out.
familiar face standing guard in the into the hallway.
They who let the golem out?
Ooh, let the golem out. Oof, oof, oof. Aaron, here we go.
Oh, he's so much smaller than he used to be.
Yep. Oh,
He's so
I-
big again.
I hope he caused them no end of trouble.
All right, so the golem. Now remember, this is a large, massive hallway. You know, think about this thing as being like half a football field long. You know, these are big, massive statue type things. Right. I mean, you're
Remember, he doesn't see movement.
right. I can't think we made something up about that. But remember that the base of these statues is like as tall as a human. So like the scaling there for Tane next to the statue is kind of accurate in that respect. There's a massive statue of the massive animated golem. The stone golem is now standing watchfully in the hallway, scanning left and right with its beamed eyes, sort of scanning into the darkness. You do have a torch going, so
So why is the Saturday group so damn dangerous to everyone in the world except themselves? They're freeing the demons. They're letting loose these golems. We're the safe group. They are the careless group. Who's more responsible now?
Again,
Elf?
look,
they're playing easy mode.
Yeah, they just free stuff and walk away. Whatever.
all right. Well,
Let's take all the
you
gold,
need to
let
get
everything loose.
you need to get past this to get back into the hallways, which will put you back on the map.
Yeah.
A runaway conflict.
Well, it doesn't have to
I
be a
mean-
conflict. Depends on what you do.
No,
All
we
right.
we are
If we just
Duck,
go
dodge, duck, and
super
dive and
slowly
Yeah. I
and
am
avoid its
sneaky.
gaze,
Can we see if the doorway to its room is still open?
Mm-hmm.
it would almost have to be gone because it wouldn't have fit before. Because it was just a small. He must have bust through the door.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but yeah. I mean, remember you do have a flickering torchlight, but it's behind one of those plinths. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Just
All right.
wondering if we can like.
Did you
Can
say
you like mage hand like a stone
Well, actually,
back into the room and
no.
fly?
Yeah.
So actually, Boothby,
Because
as you take a closer look, make a scout check, Boothby.
because I know there was that glowing rune
And this is gonna be a
inside the
turn.
room.
So be beginner's luck.
Yep.
Can I assist him
Yes.
in any way, looking for a way to disable it, or
Well, you don't really know what he's looking at per se, but I'll say this, Jim Scott, you can help because of a lore master, which is not
Okay.
normally something you can have with scout.
Is this independent?
Yes, it is independent ob 1.
ooh, nice.
Let's say I don't want to help or don't need to help, but if there's any traits you could use against yourself.
That's true. Are there any traits you can use against yourself? Oh, I got one for you, Dennis.
I'm pretty tired, probably.
I was going to say, you're touched by the gods. The blood. You can't see that good because you got blood coming out of your fucking eyeballs.
You're literally touched. You've heard of rose-colored glasses,
You know what?
Is
Yeah,
right.
we'll go with that.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
blood-colored contacts.
This is a no against. All right.
And then you'll add a check for your touched by the gods.
Right.
All right, let's see it. And you succeed. All right, Boothby, as you
Nice.
begin looking, and of course, remember your torch is, torches aren't, exactly flashlights. As you look deeper into the hallway, it's almost like more like you recall something. You notice something, Dennis. Amos had paid very close attention to this. This isn't the statue that you fought or that you encountered. In fact, as you look, you see that where there used to be a statue on one of the plinths, now it is empty.
So they activated
one
it
of them
somehow.
activated.
And as you look at this statue, very briefly, ever so slightly, maybe because of your stigmata which is flowing through you, you see a faint shimmer of bluish energy crackling through the statue. The same kind of blue energy that you've seen in other places in the dungeon, such as on traps and pits and things of that
And
nature.
That powder that we got.
And that powder that you got. And as you kind of take that in, you notice the beginnings of slight flickerings of blue energy on all the statues in this chamber.
Oh,
Jesus.
They're all turning on.
Can we like, the powder and just like, do we get like a coated and stuff?
Is that a way to figure out what it does?
It turns out it is magical cocaine and
Cocaine of golem control.
right, cocaine and golem control. All right, you guys decide what you're gonna do real quick. I'm gonna grab another soda and use the restroom real quick.
Russian break sounds good, actually.
Yeah, sure, why not? Everyone else is doing it.
We all decided. Drink. Every single room is like a I feel like it's a live or die situation. I've never felt that in any other game. It's like I'm afraid to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about like, what is a game about, like what is a game good at, or what does a game do, and I think that obviously my style is very well, designed well for this type of game. But like, yeah, it's this, it's a grind, it really puts you on the spot, and
Lots of choices.
yeah, so I think it's
If I recall, was it slow moving?
yeah, I would say that that's accurate.
Yeah.
What's happening here?
If you do a sneak check, is it like for the whole group? Is it one of those things where you do it one pool to represent the entire efforts?
Yep.
And you do you by the person that was the weakest at it, or do you pick?
Neither.
Okay.
It's going
Is it-
to
Everyone.
Increased difficulty based on the number of people or something.
exactly.
What are we doing?
I think I don't think we deactivate it. I don't think we try and fight it. I think we just get
Sprint
out
through.
of here. So we
That's
see the
actually
question
what I
is
was-
either do we run and do what the humans are good at, or do we sneak what I'm good at?
I would say we
Might
run.
take too long.
think-
It doesn't look like we have extra time here.
Yeah, we
Is
run.
it blocking our way?
Yeah. Oh
might
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
try.
it's guarding the hallway. So
Yeah, I go through its legs.
yeah. So
You run up its arm.
I was wondering if we could distract it somehow, like mage hand a
Send the
rock,
dwarf in.
or shoot an arrow down the hallway, make a
Yeah, I
noise.
mean, those are going to be options, obviously.
yeah.
I had thought maybe of taking some of that dust and sprinkling it on the golem to see if it, hampers it or turns it off, but maybe it'll just
you go
infuse
do
it with
that and
extra
see what
power.
happens.
Well, I could do it from
what
here.
we know about
Oh, that's right.
the dust is that it gave Carnalis a little bit of like precedence. He was able to see an action in the future, right?
I don't
You
remember
stub
that.
your toe. You took a little bit of it, and you saw like a brief glimpse of the future. You stubbed your toe, and then you came back into the present, and then you basically were like, let's not go there.
I actually don't remember that.
I don't remember that
Yeah, I
at
don't
all.
either.
That sounds. Yeah, you were on something, Ryan. That,
Oh, really?
was
I
that-
think
the
You were
magic
on that
dust.
magic dust.
I swear, I
It was might have been another
my
game.
notes. Yeah.
I mean, it could have happened. I totally don't remember that.
yeah, that's
But it sounds like
sound
something my
familiar.
character would do, would be snorting the magic dust for sure.
I did not write it down, so maybe it didn't have. But I swear there was something about it. Like,
But yeah, so in your guys' case, sneaking the whole group to adds 2 to the ob.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I feel like we just gotta run and then like
Yeah.
slide. And
so.
if there's any type of way we can do distractions, awesome. I don't know how right now.
just
Yeah.
fake an arrow off the roof and have a go.
I mean, if you guys want, you could engage it in a flee conflict. Now, the only reason I say that is you guys might get to make a lot more checks,
Now,
bonus successes and passes and stuff like that. Now, obviously, you guys are exhausted and hungry, so you'd be getting -2 to this. You're not in a really
Sounds
great position.
awful.
I mean, you guys have stacked up quite a few conditions.
I think,
but
So I
doing
don't
it.
like the idea of compromise.
So-
I think we have enough checks. We have 6,
yeah,
and I have like basically besides my recovery, one thing I want to do in camp.
I have, let's see here. I'm looking at, come on, where is,
Well, the only reason, I'll save my
I'm
I'll save my
thinking-
piece. I said my piece. I'll save my.
Now,
so what I'm thinking is, if we try and sneak by it somehow and blow it,
Right.
we're going to be in a conflict of Derek's choosing, not ours.
right.
Dennis,
Whereas if
there's a reason you're the G-Pote, buddy.
yeah,
That is right. Now, I
is
could
that,
give
is
I could
that
get-
what you were thinking?
I could give you success with a
with
condition.
the cost, yeah.
Yeah, but I could also twist, and if I twist into a conflict, you are right, Boothby. I get to choose.
What about me like
Manipulate objects.
using that like you guys talked about singing having power? Like, could I sing something maybe to this golem? I mean, we are in this elven temple here. Is there like a song of slow as we run through its leg? Is there a song of speed as we can speed ourselves up? Is there something that would distract or slow these golems down? Some song of ancient times of rock and stone. I don't. Again, I'm not the best with the singing of the elves' power.
I mean, singing, the song of the elves does have a certain, power.
Correct.
So we've established that. And, you
Yes.
guys.
Sing the stones to sleep.
Well, the only thing I know about is singing right now with the undead.
Yeah.
But I am this firstborn elf, and maybe I do know something about. It's weird that we would use a lot of stone here, but this is an elven temple.
Well, if you'd read your
you're
Tolkien,
underground.
Bob, you would know
Yeah.
that the original elves actually built all of their stuff underground.
There we go. So,
So
I'm just it's a thought.
the chunks of rock in this area,
Yeah.
they vary in size, I assume.
When you say the chunks of rock, what do you mean?
Well, I'm looking at the rubble on the ground here, the
Oh,
pieces of statue arm and all that.
Yeah, there's broken off pieces. I mean, some of them are probably the size of gravel and grit, and some of them are probably maybe hundreds of pounds, if not
Okay.
more.
So, what I'd like to do,
Yeah.
is
What you'd like to
Before-
do, or what you're doing?
well, okay. This is what I'll do. When I suggest, or right before I say run, I'm going to pull a scroll out of my belt pouch,
Okay.
the scroll of ethereal appendage,
Okay.
and I'm going to grab the largest piece of rock that I can pick up with that,
Okay.
and I'm going to move it down the hallway ahead of us
Okay.
to try and distract the golem with that first.
Got it. So you're making
Or like
the
running behind the ambulance type thing.
Yep.
running behind the
100%, we're ambulance golem chasers.
All right. So
And if
you
it takes the bait, then I'll just yell, run.
all right. So you can pick up. Casting time is free.
Yeah.
And vaguely luminescent tentacles extend from your finger for one turn. This allows you to make appropriate skill or ability tests at ranged. It can be used to lift, carry, and manipulate objects at a distance as long as you can see the object. If contested, test the appendage's nature 2 against that which would oppose them.
And the thing that made me think I might be able to lift a big rock is because one of the options is raise the lid of a sarcophagus, which is notoriously heavy.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
I have a stupid question.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if these golems activating is tied to the unsealing ritual. If these are some kind of defenders, like, hey, clock's running down. We're gonna need some.
Maybe.
Oh, to protect against the demon.
Yeah.
All right. So,
That
Jim
seems a
Scott.
long shot, but I don't know.
Quite interesting.
So, this is going to sound a little strange,
Okay.
but I am going to have you make, I think. So, this lets you make the test at range,
Yes.
right? So, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you make you're kind of trying to be stealthy, but not stealthy. You're trying to be
Distracting.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe like criminal or manipulator. So you're making that check at
I'll take-
range.
I'll
Does that
take
make
criminal.
sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Criminal? Okay.
Yeah,
do you have that?
absolutely.
Do you have that skill?
At 3.
You have that skill at 3.
Yeah.
Why the fuck?
That's why I pick
Shifty
locks.
mage.
Okay. Yeah. So, it's almost like, the throw the stone, get them distracted so you can pick their pocket type thing, except you're able to
100%.
do it with a really massive rock and hurl it, and you're not distracting a guy, you're distracting a 20-foot stone golem.
Never attempted to pick the golem's pockets before, but let's try.
All right, Jim Scott. So this is so casting it is a free action, but making the check is not. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Because it lasts
Yes.
for one turn. So for this one turn, I'm allowing you to make this distraction action at a far distance, keeping you safe and avoiding any sort of conflict. So the turn is going to occur. Make your criminal test,
All right.
and
Criminal.
this is going to be against his criminal test.
Hopefully
This is
he's not a smooth criminal.
He's not. So this is outside of his nature, to say the least.
Excellent.
So he's going to use half of his nature dice.
Hopefully it's wits and not health.
Well, he doesn't have those.
Okay.
So this is this is going to be against 2, round up, so 3. So it's against 3 dice.
Okay.
So versus test.
So I have criminal versus 3. So right now it's 3 versus 3.
Correct. But now this is a criminal test, and you're distracting the golem with this big, heavy rock. So people can help you, but they have to do so in a way that, again, makes fictional sense.
Yeah. All right, guys. Anything?
So you're trying to throw this through the legs, or throw this, and we're
Just moving it out in
Yeah.
front to make it chase it, so that we can.
I'm
be
imagining, he's hurling the rock to the far side of the chamber. The golem's going to be like, oh, what was that noise? And, come over there and have a little exclamation point and go look in the corner. And then you guys are going to, try
Run
to.
behind and then eventually past.
Correct.
Well, then I would like to try to attempt to do what someone else suggested, which would be to I'm going to follow your stone with an arrow. Try to get some more noise into that corner. That's not just the stone, but maybe more of.
Okay.
Again, I'm just shooting an arrow at the same direction that he's pointing.
Add a die of help, GM Scott.
Right?
Also, GM Scott, add a die for supplies.
Okay.
Because you're actually using something to distract him, not just like going, hey, over there.
Well, I have criminal,
Great.
That's good.
but I just don't know how to use it. Well, he's throwing rocks.
Yeah.
Can I throw a small rock?
That's not going to help when you're doing against this kind of big guy. If anything, that would hurt. If anything, that would hurt. Yeah. Plus, it's on the. It's like literally like 100
It would
feet
land
away.
on this side.
Yeah. He would turn back and look at you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can also
It's
help
because-
with. You can also help criminal with scout. So maybe you wait. You tell him the right time to go or something like
Yeah,
that.
that makes more sense. I'll help with criminal scout,
Okay. Perfect.
and well, I can choose it later. Can I synergize now, or
You have to synergize now.
synergize now? So I will synergize. Spend the fate.
Okay.
Oh, so one help, one synergy.
One help, one synergy. It doesn't really matter from the outcome of your perspective, GM Scott. But
Over
yeah.
there. Over there.
And you are still afraid, Amos. You can help Amos, even if you're afraid. You can't help, but you can use wises because that's aid.
right.
Just as a FYI.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I am of no help.
GM Scott, force be with you.
Alrighty, so I'm 5 dice versus 3 dice, guys. I'm half tempted to. Yeah, I think we need this. All right, here we go.
Oh, there's a lot of numbers in there.
Ooh.
I am glad I did
Oh,
not.
you have a 6 in yours too, but it doesn't really
Yeah, but I
matter.
don't have any way. I don't have persona.
So you did not use a trait, GM Scott.
No, I did not.
So this is a tiebreaker.
Okay.
So what that means, GM Scott, is you have an option here.
I could give it to them
Yeah. So here's
if I want to check. Right?
2 checks.
Fate rerolls the 6s, Jim Scott.
Fate
right?
does re-roll the 6s. I don't know if you got any 6s.
Yeah, but I don't know if it matters if you beat it by 1 more. Like I don't know. I mean, we succeeded, so.
Well,
No, you didn't.
we haven't succeeded. We
This
tied.
is a versus test.
Oh, then you might want to use it then to try.
Well, wait. You can do what we just did before. Do
Correct.
The fate spend to reroll 1 dice.
Well,
And
if he
if
had
that
no,
becomes a
no,
6.
if he
No,
has
that's a persona.
but no.
Oh,
A fate die to reroll 1/6 only apply, or failure only applies if you have a wise.
but you can use the fate to reroll the 6 as like an exploder, right?
Correct.
Well, what are your wises?
puzzle.
Not
Why is it? So you said that as if I had more than one.
Oh,
humans only get 1 wise. They're not particularly smart.
Mm-mm.
This is one of those situations where the books are terrible.
and I guess you could spend just the fate to roll or 6.
Okay, it's all the way at the beginning of the GM section for some odd reason. Okay, here we go. If you tie, GM Scott,
Mhm.
you can tag a trait if it gives you bonuses, which it does not. Spend a persona point to try to roll the 6s. If you rolled 1 or more 6s, spend a fate point to try to re-roll them. Or use a trait to break the tie in your opponent's favor and earn 2 checks.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think. Do we need the checks or do we need?
No.
Not that badly.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Damn it.
All right. I'm going to spend a fate.
Come on, fail this so bad.
Come on.
Out of the cards.
All right. Well, the good news is we go in this order. So right now we're at the if you rolled 1 or more 6s, spend a fate point to re-roll them. So that's where we're at. All right, James
All right,
Scott.
So roll 1d6.
Well, no, it's on your sheet. You can do
Yeah,
it.
you
is
can.
it?
Yep.
You can go within the roll.
Everything that you need to do from your thing is available through your roll tab.
Which one is that? Luck, deeper understanding.
It is luck.
Luck.
That'll
All
even
right.
let you subtract your fate and add it to your spent. It'll
Oh,
subtract
okay.
it from your
Then I'll
current,
go-
add it to your spent.
I'll go put it all back. I did that manually.
Oh,
All
you
right.
don't have to redo it, but
All right. So luck. Here we go. Let's roll luck. 50%.
so you did not tick up how many failed dice you had. So you rolled
Oh.
luck 1, 0. So just make it luck 1.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
No,
Never had to use it before.
Don't
No
scare
luck.
us like that. I didn't see a
There's still
single
some
dice
hope.
roll.
There's still some hope.
All right. So roll luck.
Yes.
Hey! All right. Okay,
Well,
well,
that was lucky.
that was lucky. So the test works. A turn passes. And, don't ignore that one.
Yeah. Not yet.
And the golem is distracted, moving over to the side, giving you and your group time to quickly shoot up the hallway and sneak past it before it turns its attention back towards you. Your distraction is sufficient, and the creature is sufficiently large that it's not too much of an issue. And you guys are able to, again, very stealthily and very quickly and cleverly make your way out and back into the twisting hallways.
And on the map.
And you are now back on the map.
Nice.
Happy camp, everybody?
Yes.
So this is not the one in the dungeon?
No.
No, this is the one outside. Fresh
Okay.
air.
Got it. Bloop. All right. There is no... This is where I go, and this is when you discover that the well has been filled
Yeah.
in. And there's no... All right. With one action left before another tick of the grind, you guys use the map, obtain the untrusting, and with your torch flickering, you make your way quickly back to your camp where there is the sacred presence of the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to camp, so we do have to make a camp check.
Right,
Yep.
but we also don't know how many phases we got left for our ritual thing.
Well, this is another
That
phase.
would have been 3, so this would be 4.
Yeah, because there was the adventuring phase. Now
Correct.
we're in the camp phase.
That adventuring
This
phase
would
was
be
3.
three.
This is
I
and
mean,
then
were
this.
the other groups using phases in this too, or was it?
No, they don't use phases. They just do what they want.
Well, remember they are on a different time sync than you guys as well. So
Okay, I was under the impression that it was 5 phases between both groups.
no, it was not.
Okay, makes me feel a little bit better.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
this is our 4th phase.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the start of your 4th phase. All right, so you guys chose your camp. I know the danger level, and you do not have to survey because you're here. Do you want to light your fire? I assume you do.
Yes.
Does anyone want to keep watch? Remember, this gives you a +1 bonus to the camp events roll. Higher rolls are better camp events. Lower rolls are worse. If you have someone taking watch, you get +1. If more than one character is on watch, the others may help you if you have to test to avert a disaster. But if you are on watch, you may not make recovery tests. You may not memorize spells. You may not purify your immortal burden. You can do other things such as forage for food or repair armor or whatever, but you cannot do any of those 3 things. If
So
the result
Amos-
of the camp event is a disaster, if you have someone on watch, they may spend 1 check from the party to avert the disaster by making a test or a conflict. If they are successful, you may go to camp. If they fail that, a disaster occurs, the camp phase ends immediately, all checks are lost, and you return to the adventuring phase.
I feel like we just
So-
gotta wing it. I think we all
Yes.
need to recover here.
So Amos, yeah, you're not watching Amos.
Well, Amos
What?
for sure.
What?
I would have been the
Yeah.
one looking out, and I'm not doing that this
I'm
time.
doing.
Okay, well, in that case,
I think we need to YOLO this.
Yeah.
now, luckily, you guys already have a camp with survive. You already made your camp, so you get a +1. And you do have a ranger in your party.
Yep,
so,
that's
so
right.
So that is +2. So that's going to be a +2. So I'm going to roll it.
+3, I shall utilize
What? What's going on?
the granted huntress's wisdom I got for the
Oh, yes.
piousness in town.
Your piousness in town. Yes, the wisdom of the huntress. Nice. I forgot about that
Pretty
completely.
sweet.
All right.
Done.
+3. All right, here we go.
That's
Roll
some peasant.
Yep.
3d6.
Best peasant
plus
ever. Or greatest peasant of all time.
15.
That sounds good.
That is good. You should see what happens when you get above 18. Oh.
I think we did once, didn't we?
Maybe.
I think I don't know. That's how we got the
Was that the
temple. That one
crown or
time.
the temple or?
Yeah, something like that. That sounds actually right. All right. 15, 15, 15. All right. Well, your site already had water, so this does nothing.
No,
Okay. Well,
it's better water,
Yes.
sparkling.
Yes, it has you find an additional freshwater spring, granting you full
The
water.
camp is flooding. There's too many
There's
springs.
too many springs. Decrease.
So did we get screwed because I used the bonus?
Probably.
Yes,
that's funny.
Awesome.
technically.
That's funny.
Let's see what it would have been.
Recover all your conditions. No worries to anybody.
No, nothing so good as that. Wilderness. It would have been lovely view. Oh no, sorry, verdant wilderness. You would get a +1 dice to hunter, fisher, or scavenger tests in camp.
Oh. I mean, it's
would've
better,
been all
right?
right,
It's
but-
nothing crazy.
Yeah. All right, but here we are, and you guys are in camp. So, as you guys get into camp, you have a fire going. There's no events,
Instinct.
so instincts trigger first.
All right, I will do my cartographer check.
Right.
And this is what, 2, 3?
Now, here's the problem.
How many
Yeah.
rooms?
You're exhausted, so this is going to cost a
Yeah.
check.
Oh,
You're all exhausted.
Oh yeah, it's not a free. That's brutal.
It will still count, GM Scott, as using your instinct, but it will cost one of your checks. Same with Sadok if he wants to cook.
Oh, I'm cooking.
I think we need Sadok to cook.
Oh,
So-
How many checks do we have total?
Well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I think I have to update the map as 1.
Okay. Well, you have a check anyways, GM Scott, so you could use it regardless if you wanted to use it.
All right.
No one can
so
tell you how to spend your check.
Cartographer. Now, since I'm using it as a check, can anyone help?
No, because it's an instinct.
Even though it's not free.
Right. If you wanted to treat
All
it
right.
as an instinct, yeah.
So independent ob,
Now, you could do it not as an instinct, GM Scott, but then you won't get that fate point for using your instinct.
sure. So the ob is
2.
2. Okay. Cartographer. I'm not going to use trait, although I could use
You cannot.
thoughtful.
You're
Oh,
angry,
'cause-
so you can't use beneficial traits or wises.
See, I'm not used to having all these conditions. Amos, how do you do it?
Yeah, you guys are pretty messed up right now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Should I-
8, 9, 10, 11 conditions.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
we're
I go
rolling.
first here because I want to ask some things here.
Well, no, this is the
I-
instinct.
Right.
Well, he
but
can use
my
his
instinct
instinct
goes
first.
first.
Oh, to cook.
If I cook,
Yeah.
That'll only
uh,
clear hungry and thirsty. won't it?
hungry and thirsty,
Yeah,
but
that-
I can marry make.
Well, yeah, but that's fine.
That's
That's a check. That's not
Right,
an
that's
instinct.
something separate. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
you don't have
Alright.
your instinct to do that.
So here we go then. Here's
Like
the
your instinct could be
cartographer
whenever
roll.
we get to camp, throw a fucking party. But like,
Full of
Oh
food.
yeah, 0.
Okay.
What map?
no, GM Scott, I'll give it to you.
Oh, okay.
You just gotta
All
take
right.
something else.
Yeah,
It's not a success. It's a failure.
it is a failure, so I'm going to give it to you. But the only thing that makes sense, GM Scott, is as you start making the map, your hand starts shaking as you realize you are so close now to the end. The demon about to be unleashed, the power of the dragon sorcerer still awaiting you. Fear grips your heart, and you are made afraid.
And I'm still just first level.
Yes. But you also get to mark a failure for your cartographer.
Which I did, yep.
Yes, and mark your feared or
I'm
afraid condition.
marking afraid.
There you
There we
go. Okay.
I got 4 out of the 4 to 5 conditions. Got them nailed.
All right.
Right. I am spending I am going to spend a check
Yep.
to.
And a fresh ration, I imagine.
Yep.
You have a fresh ration
Oops. I do.
Okay.
To
to feed the party.
Yep.
All right. Well, you're starting with fresh ration. That's 1 for a small group. That's 1, so that's an ob 2.
Is it independent or
Independent ob 2.
verse?
Versus is only when it's like against a creature.
Independent ob 2. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been brainstorming this entire time about what it might be to have the undead salt. We came out with it. You got to season it. Salt is salt.
So you're going to use the undead salt on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask if someone will give me some of their salt.
Yeah,
Sure.
you take mine off me.
All right, Bob.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't have any on me.
He doesn't have any.
You can have mine.
And I am gonna take the
You get a bonus for supplies.
yeah, so bonus for supplies.
Yep.
And also I'm gonna use this garlic. It's on my neck.
Well, that's also +1 for supplies. They don't stack, so you get.
Oh, okay, so
+1.
just the one.
Yep.
All right, so then I'm just gonna use the salt. We have so much of that.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I made so much
can
salt.
I can use traits, but I don't get checks or anything like that, right?
You can use traits, but you can't use them against yourself in camp. You can't earn checks in camp. But you are not angry, so you can use a trait beneficially to yourself. So
Yeah. So I'm gonna channel my hidden depths.
Yep.
I can do this twice.
just once. Oh, you can do it twice
yeah.
per session. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You're pretty hungry.
And is no one can help me because
No.
no one has an instinct or anything like that.
Correct.
And I will channel my nature to later because I want to use my other check for memory. I think that's everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Up to.
Looks good.
Whew, got it.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone's fed. Everyone remove hungry and thirsty,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
which is probably good because I think if you failed that, you barely enough rations to feed the party. I think that would have been like the last of your rations, basically. Oh, you got a
So
little.
did I take these stack at 2? So I have to take down one of these fat rations, right?
Which one?
The
Yeah.
fresh.
No, the fresh. Yeah, just tick it down by 1. So
Okay.
decrease unit macro. Yeah, there you go.
Now I have a question. That's instinct.
Yes. So now that's done. So that cost a check. So you guys should be down to 4 total checks. But looks like you guys are still.
So we're all angry.
1, 2.
Most of us are angry.
Well, hold on a sec. Somebody didn't subtract a check. Or
Well,
did
I didn't clear my check because
you do?
you only get so many beneficial uses.
Mm-hmm.
I was keeping track of how many times I'd used my wizard site. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just cleared my check.
Oh, I don't have any persona. Okay. Well, I think that I think everyone is and how all these things we all want to make
Well,
things,
you
but are all
you can't go next, Ryan. You just
Oh,
spent a
right.
check.
oh that would have been the order to do our instinct stuff.
Oh yeah. So you
Bummer.
could have cooked and then I could have done my map and then you could have done your merrymaking.
Yeah, which is what I want to do because it was.
But
it's
as it
gonna-
is, someone else needs to do something now.
Mm,
Something that won't interfere with his merrymaking.
but I
or
have to
du-
clear
duplicate the
angry
effort.
first. No, I have to clear
You have to clear in recovery
Boss.
order. So angry first.
angry
but
first.
but that's what Ryan is saying is that if he merry
Yeah.
makes, he can try to get rid of your anger. But
I mean, that's the only thing to do, unless I give my check to.
well, you give it
No,
to somebody else.
Does
You can-
They're
anyone
doing
not-
the. Oh,
Amos-
you have to clear a frayed.
Amos does not have angry.
Yeah, you can clear a frayed. So Amos has a check though. He can just use his check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Amos? You want to pray or whatever?
Yeah, well, I got 2 things I'm going to want to do. I need to purify, which is going to be free here at this camp.
So that doesn't spend a check. That doesn't help you.
So I have to spend a check.
Oh, you do. Okay.
So, no, I know. I mean, there's no check spent to purify here because of the
Right. But they need someone to spend a check.
Yes.
spend a
That's-
check. So I can spend a check to try and get rid of Afraid.
Right. But what they're saying is
Yes.
ideally you wouldn't do that because if Ryan is successful, the merrymaking will clear afraid from everybody and you wouldn't with his
Does it
check.
clear Afraid or Angry?
No,
you
he
clear
clears
both.
angry. Oh shit. Well,
Half
then
an-
that's the
Ryan-
one thing we need to work in at that point.
Well, no,
it
but
doesn't
there's
matter.
other things that you could do in camp. See, one of the things is like you can also use camp to do things that help you, not just recover you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, we're not used to that.
Because
Right.
one of the things I wanted to do, which I might just not,
It's fine with the
unless I just decide I can't live with it. I came out to figure out what this is. I'm just gonna take a bump. One of my things I was gonna spend a check on if I had it was to investigate this.
Well, to be fair, your goal was to figure out what it is. It didn't say that you had to be the one who did it.
Yeah.
So
All right.
give
Someone
your
else-
check.
what are we
Give your check to
figuring
GM
out?
Scott. Let him figure out what your powder does.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he's
that
got
powder. Yeah.
the arcane stuff.
Right, but he's gonna. What can he not do because of that? He can't do no beneficial traits.
So he's just gonna have to.
Right.
He's gonna have to just make a straight up
Just gonna
like
have to
lore
raw
master,
dog it.
straight up lore master check.
Yep.
Which I think
Okay.
he's probably pretty good at.
I'm
Sure.
okay.
Yeah, I'll give him
then
that,
I
and then I might need to have someone give me a check so I can marry make.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I can give him one of my checks. So
There you go. So
he can take
Chronolos,
my check.
Chronolos,
Yeah.
tick down a check. GM
Yep.
Scott, Sadok gives you the powder, and
Okay.
you begin investigating it and looking
All
into
right.
it. So this is a lore master check because you're trying to figure out this magical ephemera. People can
Let me
help.
know if it can help in the merrymaking.
If you are not angry, you can help him with Arcanist, Theologian, or Lore Master.
If I'm not angry, well, wait, not angry or not afraid?
If you are not afraid, yeah.
Okay, I can help him with. You said Arcanist.
Lore
Lore
Master,
Master.
Arcanist, or Theologian.
Okay, Lord Master. Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
this did come from the Elven Temple.
Yep.
I did.
I haven't seen this particular dust before, but something similar. It wasn't golems. It was a different rock creature from the Bestiary 2 and Pathfinder as well.
There you go.
Slightly different shade of blue.
Yeah.
More
right.
cerulean.
All right, James Scott. Go ahead and make your Lore Master check. Ob 3.
Ob 3. Nice. This might require me to be very thoughtful here.
Unfortunately, you are angry and you cannot use your traits
I
beneficially.
cannot be thoughtful.
You could use them against you, but that
I
doesn't help.
could, and that
But
would
you
generate
can't.
more checks.
You can't use them against yourself in camp.
Oh, it's
Can't generate checks in camp.
No.
All right, so it's Ob 4 versus a 3. And you're helping,
Wait. Ob 4 versus a 3.
Or 4 dice versus Ob 3.
There you go.
But then I'm getting help, so that's 5 dice.
Yep. There you go.
Good
luck.
Yeah. What about gear, supplies, focus? Okay, I've got the dot.
I'll tell you this: if you use up one of the 3 charges, that will count as supplies.
May I?
It'd be worth it.
That's up to Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
All right. I will consume 1.
Okay.
Takes a
I'll
little
just
bit of
do a
tinkering.
line, see what it does.
Yep. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Oh boy, you might have needed that. Wow.
I think I just got it.
Oh, and
just
the 6s were
barely.
against you. Yeah.
All right. So you use a portion of the dust and experiment with it. You do a little alchemical process to it, GM Scott. You work over it, and after a lengthy period of time, you discover that this is dust of animation golem control.
Okay. It is.
Could have used it to try to mess with that golem.
Well, we can now use it against the
Yeah.
In the future.
There you go. But that is what it is. It is basically animated material or magical dust that will animate whatever you sprinkle it on, stone material.
Alrighty.
It's kind of sweet.
Oh, whatever we have to sprinkle it on.
You
them,
sprinkle it
not
on them.
Consume it ourselves.
No, you don't consume it. You sprinkle it on them, and then it will come to life, and you could control it. Or if it's already made of stone, you will gain control of it.
Or if it's already
Yeah.
animated.
Right, and it will last. GM Scott, one dose will last for 1 turn,
Okay.
and 2 doses will last for the phase.
Nice. Okay.
So you can
Well, it sounds
walk
like we
around
have
with
some
a
helpers if we
companion.
want.
Yeah.
All right.
We have enough for 1. I guess.
Now that's a
having 2
pass
is
too
just
for
as
your
good
Lore
as,
Master.
we have 2 doses, so that's enough for a phase.
I keep
Yes.
forgetting to synergize with Lore Master. Dang
You can synergize, Bob, if you want
it.
to.
Woohoo!
Just remember to subtract the fate.
Cheater.
Yep. Did that and pass.
All right. Next, Sadok. You can now.
Yeah. I want to.
Seems
marry.
a reason to celebrate.
Let's party.
What a celebration we've had today.
All right.
So
Now keep in mind, your party is angry, exhausted, afraid.
This
Yeah.
the
Ryan,
time.
this is going to be Ob 5.
Holy shit.
We need a big party.
This
All right.
is a hard group to get
I'm
them
gonna use my quick
celebrated.
wit.
You can use it. You're
Yeah.
one of the few people who can use it. Yes.
I am going to. I don't have any persona, so I can't help anything with this. But I can't channel my nature.
Nope.
You're not going to tell that 3 legs, 2 legs, 4 legs, 18 legs joke again, are you?
I'm gonna ask Carnalus to play us a ditty.
That's what I was going to get to. So I'll pull it out, but I might have checked the undead.
And can we drink some of your booze, Amos?
Amos, you want to sacrifice the rest of your wine?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. That'll be supplies, Ryan.
Okay.
Deleted. Amos, you are not angry. but you are afraid. You can't help. And Tana's afraid. He can't help. So you guys are basically so like shaken and exhausted that like they're trying to get you to celebrate, and you guys are like, please, I don't even want to join you. You're like,
I'm still trying to recover from snorting that dust.
right. You're like me on the third day of Gen Con. I'm like, please, just go, just go away.
So is it daytime, nighttime?
It's probably evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do get help from the instrument.
Yes.
It's called gear or supplies.
Yeah.
Oh, from the instrument. Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
gear
I'm
from
using
the.
this more as a help.
Okay. No. He's helping you with it, but he's saying, can you give him the harp and he'll play it?
You're going to use my harp?
No, I was gonna have you help me play. I was gonna sing and dance and talk about and regale all of us about
I'm
what
saying
we just did.
On a check, you can get bonus. You get 1 bonus die for supplies. That's something that's
But
consumed.
he's using the wine for that.
That was the supplies, but you can also get a bonus die for gear.
Oh. Yeah, why don't you play that too?
Okay, I mean, we've played a little bit of instruments back at the bar.
So Karanalos will sing,
I will sing.
and you will play on your harp while everyone drinks, and you try to get them to celebrate. And maybe it's more of like a soft melody to try to ease their spirits and their
I
things.
sing the song from what is that, Fifth Element?
Oh.
All right, minus 7.
They're doing the dance.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. I mean, you guys are tapping into everything you
Don't
got.
get shot.
and it's what's the 5?
Yep.
So I've got quick wit.
Yes.
I've got help.
Yes.
I've got a gear and a supply.
Mm-hmm.
So 7D.
Versus
Come on,
Ob 5.
And I'm just gonna burn as much of my whatever I can do.
Your fate, your luck, and your wises. So
Yeah. But I don't do that until after the roll.
you don't do that till after the roll. The only thing you can do before the roll is spend persona.
Okay,
You
we're
just need
close.
one. Just need one. No 6s. So
No
okay.
6s. So
Unfortunate.
do you have a wise that you can use?
I mean, we're a little salt wise.
You're getting a lot of the. Please explain to me what you do. You know what?
You use salt.
Undead.
You know what? I will say this. Because you use the undead salt
Oh, in the mix.
no. Yes.
Harp activates it.
Exactly, Bob. The harp activates it. And Ryan, you get
Ooh,
one
I'm feeling it.
Yes, it's like it's internalizing the music. And you can feel the voices coming from within you. The music is coming from within inside of you.
The salt is singing.
As he scatters the salt, the harp activates it, and these tiny little skeletons dance around the fire to the amusement of everybody.
So Ryan,
this is deeper understanding.
this is deeper understanding. Need a little salt wise. Mark of fate. Reroll 1 failed die. You have a deeper understanding. Since they consumed the undead salt, the harp will be able to resonate with it. So ridiculous.
All right, come on.
Please be a 6.
Oh, no.
We tried.
No. All for naught.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
That would have been so good. That would have been 4.
You know, it's times like this. Singing cries out into the night, playful of the harps, and it's just a gay old time. But the spirits of the crew, of the Sunday crew, are hard to buoy after such difficult and trying times. And that's why it's so sad and disappointing when the group of goblins led by a bugbear ambushes you in your camp as we twist out of your camp as you are drawn by the music and the singing, the powerful urge, the powerful music fills the night air, but it also draws in the goblins and the bugbears, which you guys actually did know about because you saw those footprints many, many years ago. And actually, Theodoric crew actually fought some goblins, drove them off a little bit. But unfortunately, the concealment of your camp is not enough with the music and the merrymaking, the drinking, the singing, the music playing. And alas, your concealed camp is found in the evening hours by this band of goblins led by a bugbear who enter into your camp in a twist conflict.
I told you to just shut up. So I'm going to change my goal to get beat up by goblins or whatever these are.
Well, the good news is it's 9 o'clock, so we have to. We're going to end here. So we're going to start next time with we're back in the adventuring phase, and it's going to be a twist into a conflict.
Ooh.
Nice.
Uber might like show up in this
Oh,
conflict.
Urber will totally jump in and be like, "Rah!"
It's like I followed these guys.
So does this then ruin the rest of our checks for camp?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
You lose all checks.
Yeah, it's really brutal.
Lose all
Yes.
checks.
I told you
Really?
that halfling singing, playing that harp. Oh, it was the elf singing that did it.
Yeah, I shouldn't have sung that song.
Man.
This game. You know what? Actually, I'll say this. Depending on how well you do in this camp will determine. If they can as part of their compromise or their success, if they drive you out of camp, then your camp is broken. If you guys can drive them off or kill them without like having any compromises where you are forced to abandon your camp, then you can keep your camp checks.
Can we do a convince our conflict to have them join the party?
You could if it wasn't a twist, but because you're twisting
okay.
into it, I get to pick
You
the
get to
conflict.
choose this. Okay.
Yes. But if they had just shown up in a normal situation, I might allow you that opportunity to talk to them. Yeah, but this is a twist, and they're here to do. Now, I will say this. If you succeed, and depending on what happens, and you might then be able to use an action to engage with them and try to, be like, hey, we have you defeated. You're surrounded. We have you, bound tied. Work for us or die.
Oh, I didn't mean join the party as in, like join our group, but join the merrymaking is like, yeah, come on in.
Oh, interesting.
All right, well, we'll go with that. It depends on how well you do in this next conflict. We'll say that. Right now, you've got a group of goblins and bugbears who come in. They see this drunk, weak, weary, small party who look pretty shitty and beat up, and they are basically like, cool, look at them. Look at their sacks bulging with silver and gold.
We're
Easy
so
prey.
loaded, too.
Easy prey.
Easy prey. You guys, by the way, for people at home, I'm going to cut over to the inventory screen. Yes, this is, what do we got? Like 6 or 7 stacks of gold, silver.
Oh, this is like the best we've done.
We've got one.
Yeah.
We've got the magic harp, the magic armor, the magic spear, the fucking crown, the jeweled, gleaming crown of the Lord of Law sits upon
we
the.
don't even really care
I
that
think
much
this
about
is-
the wealth. We
this
want to
is the
stop this
first-
demon.
Well, this is the first time that we have collected treasure that wasn't given to us out of pity.
There.
To be fair, some of that treasure kind of came out of pity because you both lost the riddle conflict at the same time. So you could argue that was
It was
kind.
a compromise.
It was a comp. He did lose. You just lost 2.
It was a draw. We
It was a
call
draw, right?
It's all right.
Exactly.
We'll
It's a
call
draw.
it a draw.
Was a draw.
Well, this is going to come as no surprise, but we're going to go ahead and go around and do rewards. Methinks a lot of the goals were not successful, but you guys did make good progress, so that is good stuff. All right, Karanos, we'll start with you. What was your belief?
I will always have my friend's back. That really didn't come up.
I agree, it did not come up. What is your
But my-
instinct?
My instinct to trigger.
It did
always
trigger-
look ahead when exploring a new area, and that's when I got.
And you
sort of
succeeded.
had help. Yep. Yes,
Okay,
I
so
did.
you do get a fate point for that, Karanos.
Mhm.
And then your goal?
was to convince the spirit that we are worthy of the dagger.
Well,
and
you were
that didn't
trying
happen.
really hard to make that happen, so you get a fate point.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Because you get a fate point as long as you made progress or
Progressing
working towards
towards
it.
that. Okay.
Yep, so you get a fate point. All right, Ryan, what about you? What was your belief? What was Sadok's belief?
I believe the group needs me more than I need them.
Hmm.
The biggest thing was probably putting all that effort into the riddle. That I basically put all my effort and
You almost sold it.
halflingness because I was I spent the persona to channel.
But was that really about you showing the group that they need you more than you need them? Because it felt like you were almost more like, like kind of like being like, I will step up and, like I'm part of the team here. We're riddling together.
I see that, yeah.
So that's what the only reason I'm saying is like the belief. I don't know that the belief really triggered one way or the other. It just doesn't seem like that action was really in line with that particular belief. Like a moment where you're basically like, I don't need them, they need me.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. Okay,
So
the only thing I think of is maybe the not smart use of.
I
yeah.
don't think it really came up. So your instinct was to feed the group. So you did do that.
Yeah. So what's that? It's
A fate point.
Fate.
And then your goal,
was to find out what the dust was.
you succeeded. So you get a persona point for that. GM Scott, what was your belief?
I believe I made some progress on it. My reliance on others highlights my weakness in magic. When I gain enough power, I will no longer need them. I felt that
Remember, you have to, what action, like what just
Right.
concrete action did you take?
That's
that was
why
aligned with him?
I felt that his use of his Arcana skill and his Lore Master, but also the spell to be able to move the golem and get through that without the help of the party, really.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
That-
you technically probably would have done it without us, but
Yeah.
I mean that
No,
was
no.
a step towards him being more self-sufficient, and
You-
more
you haven't
powerful
real-
than magic.
For sure, you haven't really cast too many spells this game, so your belief that your magic is going to eventually make you more powerful than them, I think, came up for sure. And you took an action, like a deliberate roll with that ethereal appendage spell. Okay, what was your instinct?
And is that fate?
That is a fate point.
Okay, my instinct
Triggered,
is,
but you failed.
Correct.
So
yeah,
you don't
that was
get-
the camp.
So you do not get the point.
Yeah, you gave it to me, but I didn't.
But yeah, you
succeed.
still failed, right? So you don't get it. And then your goal,
Acquire the dagger. We
So-
didn't do that.
but you made progress towards it, so get another fate point.
All right.
And then Amos.
Oh, and gallows humor.
Oh, yes, so you did have your gallows humor. Get a fate point for that as well. And Amos, what was your?
Amos had a weak session.
What was your-
my
what-
belief is I am the defender of the defenseless.
Yeah, that definitely did not
I
come
didn't
up.
do nothing.
You didn't do nothing. You were hesitating about going in there into the teleporting room. You were like, you know what, Boothby? Would you? The fact that you hesitated. Are you thinking maybe you've changed your mind on that, or?
Amos was more concerned about the ritual. Like we
Okay.
don't know where we went to.
The needs
Okay.
of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Right.
All right, got it.
There's
Okay.
A bunch of the adventurers. We got the whole town back here.
Got it.
That,
Okay,
that was the
All right.
reason for the
got it for the hesitation. All right, so no belief. All right, your instinct.
10 the wounds,
Yeah.
10 the wounded, and when we get to camp.
Nope. All right, and
And I
then
couldn't
your
use my instinct anyway.
and your
because I was
goal?
exhausted. Reseal the demon of the ancient world away.
well, it's up to you. Did we make any progress towards that? I don't.
And, well,
think
the
so.
only thing I would say is we've been really
We're running down the
paces.
clock on it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. If anything, you've made anti-progress. So no, you didn't make any progress on that either. So no rewards for Boothby at all.
Here's the progress I've made on it. We have to do it next time.
Well, then next time you'll definitely get that point. And then MVP, who made the single biggest roll? Now that I do think was Ryan, but
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking,
riddle.
yeah.
Ryan's riddle
was
for sure.
Critical.
yeah. So that's a persona point for Ryan. And then
Critical.
yeah, it was critical. And then team worker, who really laid down the line and sacrificed a bunch of stuff and used their gear up. Remember, it can't be Ryan because he did it.
I think Tane did, because Tane
Yeah, I agree.
used his check to help my. In fact, I definitely don't think my belief was I channeled my belief because I relied on
You relied on
the personal help of Tane to get my goal.
right. So
So I
okay.
definitally did not get it.
So in that
So, yeah,
case,
but
Ryan,
yeah.
do you think that was a big moment for you where your belief might change?
Yes.
All right. In that case, you earn a persona point, but you'll have to change your belief in line with that sort of new realization of how your beliefs are changing,
Which I will have to brainstorm.
which is fine
Mhm.
as long as you do it by next session. And then GM Scott, team worker award for you, so you get a persona point.
Awesome.
Yeah, I also feel like
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I feel like Tane was helping on a lot of rolls today.
Every role I feel like he
I
was
feel like
in.
yeah, and also pretty good at that thing as well. So
I would have liked
he
to
got-
help
yeah,
out
I
some
know
roles.
it's Amos. I was like, Amos is
Well,
kind
if
of.
you weren't
you
so
can help with
angry all the
theologian.
time.
To be fair, Boothby, it is kind of
You
hard to
weren't so-
help when blood is pouring from your ears and your eyes. So
Yeah.
Being afraid sucks.
If you weren't so afraid and angry all the
Yeah,
time.
right.
The worst part
geez.
is a bunch of like ritual and theologian stuff was what could have helped.
Right.
Your
Oh,
prime-
yes.
your prime
Those
stuff.
are only skills that you have. Yes, that's right. The good news is when you go into this conflict, you'll only get the -1 for being exhausted. You won't get the -1 for being hungry and thirsty because you guys did just eat.
But also just so brutal that we finally got to camp. And finally we get rid of this stuff. And you're like, oh, by the way, now we're back in the conflict. F you.
Well,
It's a little. I feel bad about the sequence thing, but it's okay. I mean, it is what it is. It kind of feels like, man, I'm getting beat up by Bob. I'm getting beat up by Derek. Just
I mean, I
hard
definitely
sessions
killed you.
for me.
KOLC's ganging up on you.
I'm sorry, buddy.
My
Listen.
duck is a pancake.
Yeah, the fact that Makander of Half Bay died under your watch is like, how does Makander die? Like, what's his damage reduction? Like 9?
7.
I mean, it might as well be.
Didn't he have a roof fall on him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the answer to that riddle.
Yes.
That's the riddle I should have asked.
Yeah. How does Vikander die?
How do you kill Vikander of Half-Bay? But Bob told me all about the story. I would have known the answer.
How do you
Yeah, that
kill a
was
duck
funny.
in plate mail?
Right.
Drop the roof on him.
Well, and a helmet, right? Great helmet or whatever.
Yeah, he had a helmet and plate mail. Yeah,
We recovered the body.
Right.
no, he did.
That's well, right. But I also I heard about the magic items and how there was greed involved. It was it was
Well, and just like yes,
it was a very good it was a very good Dragonbane story. I really appreciated it. So, but I mean, GM Scott, you're not in that game, right? You're the one person from Sunday
I am
Crew that's
not.
not in that game, right?
Yeah, because Laughing's in that game as well.
Yeah,
he also died. I killed 2 of our players
Yeah,
from our Torchbearer. game.
It would have
No
been
damage
cool, but the,
whatsoever.
You know,
time
I
is-
will say
the
this.
time is all wrong.
I haven't killed anyone in Torchbearer yet. Technically, we killed off Saturday Crew's mage
that's right.
in a retcon because the player left and we just didn't replace him, and so we just said, okay, he died when we're coming. But yeah, no, technically I haven't died. I haven't killed anybody yet. So, and who's wearing the magic leather armor? Karanlos? Maybe
Yes.
maybe you'll die in this fight, Karanlos. The leather
Time to
armor.
activate it.
Time to activate it already. No, but so next time we will. And we don't have to go right now, but I'm going to stop the recording. But for those of you at home, we are probably coming up here to the last handful of sessions, right? The demon is awakening. This group is theoretically very close to getting the Dragon Bone Dagger, which will potentially allow them to confront the Dragon Sorcerer Pyoria and potentially end the threat from that and the awakening of the ancient halls of Foundation and the threat that lies underneath. And, at this point, those of you who have watched both episodes know that the dungeon is getting pretty well explored, although each group has faced threats that the other group has never seen or has only heard rumors of, so that's always pretty cool. So it'll be interesting to see, and of course, if you watch Saturday Crew's video, you have no idea. You know what the fuck is going on with them. Nobody knows. So we'll catch up with these guys next time. Of course, we're going to be... Actually, everybody but Ryan is going to be at Origins next week, so we're going to have some fun there. And when we get back, we're going to finish up here this Torchbearer campaign over the next, probably over the next month or so, month and a half. But I've been having a lot of fun, and this kind of session and yesterday's session, which from the Saturday Crew, are like why I love this game, because it just gets to these really crazy, unique, interesting places that the rules push you. And as Ryan was saying, I think very eloquently during the session, it's like, man, every room, every test, every check is like a nail biter. There's no freebies, there's no gimmies, and that's
If
really
only
cool.
there were 6 ticks of the clock.
Right. And in fact, you can go adventuring in the wintertime and the clock grinds on 3 instead of 4.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Because it's very harsh in the winter, All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time on Knights of Last Call.